Hi everybody and welcome to round 7 of the European Team Championships. We're going to be following the England teams, the Open and the Women's team, and we will also pop in on some other teams, in particular Ireland, Scotland and Wales during the afternoon. And today we've got a couple of very interesting matches. England against Romania for the Open team, and England against Iceland for the women's team. And on paper, actually, rating-wise, we are slightly the favourites in both those matches. So I don't think we've had that before for both matches. So that's good. But we'll see, because because of lots of things, you can never quite tell if that's being the favourite on paper rating-wise is going to help you that much. But let's see what happens. Okay, you said you wanted to share your screen?
Yeah, go for it.
Go on then. Off you go.
Yeah, I've shared it.
I have to do this.
Active.
There we go.
All right. So let me just. I can probably just increase the size there just a little bit more like that. So okay, we've this is board 1 actually. So it's Michael Adams against Bogdan Daniel Deac. Who's top board for Romania, 2651. Michael obviously over 2700 for many years. I can't remember a time he wasn't over 2700 really.
He's very good, Michael Adams. Mickey.
He is pretty good. Now, let's have a little look to see what the opening was. It was quite interesting, actually. I think Najdorf players will be quite intrigued by this. So, knight f3, d6, d4 takes, knight f6, knight c3, a6. And now the move bishop d3, which it just goes to show how theory has changed. Because in my day, if somebody played bishop d3, you would mark them down as a complete amateur. So it was one of the bishop moves that simply wasn't played. You played bishop.
We used to do bishop e3 and bishop g5 and bishop c4 against me.
Bishop e2, f4. Those were all the main lines. But I mean, recently people have. H3 became very popular. At one stage, A3 has been a very popular move. Lucas van Foreest played the Dutch champion. Played bishop d2. One time even. Robin van Kampen, another Dutch player. I sat next to him. He played queen d3 against an opponent. And back in the day, 1997, maybe 98, Stuart Conquest, the English grandmaster, played rook g1 against me. So
that would be a surprise. That move,
very interesting. It's a very interesting move, actually. It's well worth. Always surprised me it hasn't been done more often than it has.
I guess the idea with that one is g4 and g5 straight away.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hey.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Yes, well done, win from the Open team, and of course we knew all along that when Ravi lost that pawn, that was no problem for Ravi.
Hey,
hi,
Martin. Hey, how are you? It's so yeah. I mean, essentially, almost everything has been tried in this position. I do remember that we were talking with one evening with Nigel, John Nunn, John Spielman, and they decided that the only move that hadn't really been tried and possibly wasn't possible in this position was b4. In actual fact, but well, we're waiting. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be tried sometime. But yeah, I mean, bishop d3 is actually very sensible. It's one of the moves that once strong players start playing it, you sort of wonder, well, why did we reject it like that? The idea is very, very flexible. You can play, a follow-up like f4 and knight to f3 afterwards. That's a very common follow-up, but you stay flexible. I mean, you could also play, just like Mickey did, play a system with f3, bishop e3. It's really just a very flexible way of playing. And if black plays a move like e5, for example, I think one of the ideas that you can do, there's moves like knight f5, but you've also got ideas like knight d e2. Just retreating the knight, and it can come around to g3 and target the f5 square. So it's basically a very, very flexible way of playing. Black played g6, which, to be honest, was also my standard reaction. G4 straight away.
G4, of course.
You said this before, Martin. It's true. G4, just as a pawn sack. Incredible. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, it even feels completely reasonable. Actually, you just give up the pawn, open that G file, and then in we go. Yeah, why not?
I can't imagine Mickey doing that though.
No, that's not. I don't think Mickey would do that. That's you'd need a different type of player to do that. Well, if Martin ever makes it to the England team, then I'm sure we'll see 6G4 on the board. G6. This was my standard reaction always to slightly offbeat ideas. From white, if they'd go to 6A4 or anything like that, just play G6 and play some sort of dragon with a slightly less critical white move and the useful move A6 for black. That's so this is pretty normal. Hey,
hi, Sonia.
Good to see you. So G6, and now Mickey played F3, which that's part of the modern treatment of it. I mean, I think in the good old days you might have played F4 automatically. But F3 here, White's just trying to say, okay, you've played, you started off with an idol. If I played Bishop D3, you've tried to make a dragon. So I'm going to go back to a dragon with an F3 system, very dangerous. And okay, I've played the slightly odd move Bishop D3, but you've played the odd move A6. So who knows? Maybe those two cancel each other out, and I'm just left with the big old attack against the king that we get normally in the dragon. So Queen B6. So now Black's really playing very, very specifically and concretely here. Not just developing with Bishop G7, but really putting pressure on the knight. And the idea is, of course, that you're attacking the knight on D4. Bishop B3 would be the move that you'd want to play, but I'm assuming that here that Black can get away with Queen B2 without too much inconvenience. Feels a little bit risky for the queen, and there's also the matter of this little square on B6 as well. But presumably that's all good.
Hi, Kevin. How are you doing?
Same high standards expected today. Well, that's putting the pressure on Kevin. That's it's been it's cool. It's lovely seeing Peter doing lots of commentary because he's a lovely chap and always got always plenty of fun. So excellent. But what did Mickey do? Mickey did something that's quite common in these lines. Well, more in the poison pawn lines where Black goes Queen B6. He played the holding move A3. Now, Natasha, why aren't we taking on D4?
Right. Well, Bishop B5 check. Knight C6, tempting to defend, but you just whip it off. Not that. Oh, well, you could whip that off, or you could whip off the knight. Up to you. Indeed. Personal taste.
Indeed. We can just, there'll be an awful lot of whipping off there. So A3. And the idea is now that after Black goes something, for example, like Bishop G7, doesn't matter which, we play Bishop E3. Hey, Monosopiad. We go Bishop E3. And what is the key difference here? What happens after Queen B2, Natasha?
What happens after Queen B2? Knight A4, maybe.
Indeed, that's the one. And this pawn on A3 has defended the B4 square, so it means that the queen is trapped. So basically, with A3, you're just trying to develop with the bishop to E3 without moving that knight, away, basically. And why do you want to keep the knight on D4? Well, it's vaguely pointing towards the black king there. If it went back to B3, it would be further away. A3, that's sort of a half useful move, but well, considering Black's played A6, you might expect Black to play B5 to B4, so A3 will be useful in that case. And of course, there's the whole idea of if the queen is once the bishop goes to E3, the queen on B6 will be a target. It'll have to move away. So yeah, Black will have also sort of wasted a half move with Queen B6. It's all quite subtle and and interesting. And it gets more interesting because Black played Knight C6 again, playing very concretely here.
Have you ever played or do you know much about Bogdan Daniel Diak?
No, not at all, actually. I mean, he's a fairly young player, and I really know the players the best, who are my age, really, who were playing in the late 1990s, and Bogdan Daniel is considerably younger than that, I think. So no, I don't know very much about him. I've seen plenty of his games in the database. So so it's no, I've never actually.
2001. He is young. Yeah. Okay. 20 only.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, just one of a series of enormously promising young players nowadays. You know, from all different sorts of countries. So. Oh yeah, it's true. He did. He got some invites and did very well. So so here Mickey goes bishop e3, and the idea is knight d4, bishop d4, queen d4, bishop b5 check again.
Yeah.
No worries. But here Black again plays very concretely. I like this play. I think this is always how I tried to play with Black. You know, really try and exploit move orders when my opponent did something. So he went e5 here and attacking the knight on d4, and of course there's the bishop on e3 behind it.
Yeah.
So knight f5 is forced. Queen takes b2, still not possible because of knight a4. But knight f5, we go back to d8. And then white's knight here, not looking great, has to go back to g3. And yeah, I mean, this is a really, it's just one of those positions where lots of strange specific things have happened. You know, when you explain it, the reasons are clear, but probably a lot of these, the pieces are on a lot of spots where you wouldn't choose intuitively. You know, if you had a choice, you wouldn't maybe have put them there. The knight on g3 is a little bit odd because obviously the pawn on g6 simply dominates it. Bishop on d3, more it's looking at the pawn. You might have wanted it on c4 normally, you know, or maybe even on e2. That's right. Kevin gets knight on g3, get in the way of g4. The thing for Black that's a little bit.
You go h4 and h5. You can.
Well, h4 will probably meet with h5, I guess. You know, but the big thing for Black here is hey, Patroklos.
Hello.
The big thing for Black that you don't normally want in an idle structure is that the knight's on c6. That knight's normally better on d7. And the other slightly odd thing is to have this pawn on g6 in some ways. Yeah, I mean, if you go bishop e7, then, you know, g5, h6 are a little bit weak. If you put the bishop on g7, then the d6 pawn will be a little bit weak. So, I mean, it's really swings and roundabouts here. You know, you don't, you're not really sure at all what the objective evaluation is. Is one better for white or better for Black? You don't know. I mean, what I will say is that, you know, a piece like the knight, that's very easy to redevelop. I mean, you put it back to redeploy. You put it on e2, and it's in good shape. I mean, you could even consider f1 to e3 to d5 as well. So, you know, that's not so...
It's a bit like chess 960, isn't it? With all the pieces on slightly different squares from what you're expecting.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think certainly as Black... I mean, you know, and also if you look at the development, then, you know, both sides have moved some pieces around quite a bit. But you know, Black is a little bit behind in development because, well, obviously played queen b6 to d8 and lots of pawn moves. So, yeah, I mean, I think I would guess that this is, you know, on balance, this is a slight advantage for white, but a sharp position. I mean, you know, so bishop b6 played, very natural move. I mean, Black will be thinking about hinting at playing d6 to d5, typical break. The only downside to d6 to d5 is that you go e takes d5, and then this knight on g3 gets a lovely square on e4. So yeah, you know, it's one of those things where you sort of say, "Oh, my freeing break. I'd rather not do it because it activates a passive white piece." Queen d2 from Mickey, very natural. h5. Yeah, nowadays we're all doing that all the time. So, but obviously, you know, hitting the knight is always a very natural reaction. Castles.
I thought Mickey might meet that with h4, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mickey's just saying, well, okay, if you go h4, I'll put the knight round to e2. I think possibly, I mean, what Black might be intending. I mean, I played these sort of ideas with h5 in the Najdorf quite often, normally to stop g2 to g4. And then with those often castled artificially, king f8 to g7. So that might be an idea that Black's going to do as well. King b1. Oh, and Black is thinking at the moment. Yeah, difficult decision for black. This is quite sharp. Yeah, I mean, what does black need to decide? I mean, black really needs to find some sort of plan here. As I said, king f8 to g7 is quite natural, but I suppose what you're really trying to work out with black is, how quickly do I need to start my counterplay with d5? Can I, wait and consolidate, or is white?
If you go king f8, I could go bishop h6,
and I will go king g8,
and then your rook's stuck.
Yeah, but your bishop's attacked, I suppose.
My bishop's not too good there, I suppose.
Would be my claim. I mean, yeah, all possible, these things. I mean, you have to, maybe you could have a look at playing something like knight f5 as well.
Sacrifice it all. Oh yes, also, yeah. That was my plan.
You like that? That's yeah. I mean, there's various possibilities. Hi,
Tilbs.
Hey, Tilbs. I mean, there's also, d6 to d5 is one line that I'd be quite interested in. b5 to b4 is possible. I mean, let's have a look at d5. I mean, I feel that you should really look at this. The little idea behind it now is that now that white's played king b1, if e takes d5, knight takes d5, knight d5, queen d5, I'm threatening queen a2 check. So white has to do something about that. I mean, maybe white goes c4, whatever, and we'll have to have a look to see what that's like. But that's the basic idea, the basic little tactical point. What you could have with white are moves like, for example, e takes d5, knight d5, and then bishop takes g6. Bishop a6 is also possible, but so obviously if you go fg, then I go knight d5, which is pretty friendly, and if we go knight takes c3 or knight c3, I just go queen takes c3, and well, your queen's under attack, so you haven't got time to take the bishop. So I imagine that is actually quite decent. I'm trying to think of a cunning intermediate move or something that will give me something, but I can't see it. So yeah, actually, it looks like d5 is simply bad, which is great news for white. Yeah. That's really nice.
We don't like d5, and we maybe don't like king f8.
Let's have a look at king f8, because that's a very natural move. But yeah, bishop h6, king there, knight f5 may be interesting. So obviously gf, I've got queen g5 check.
With mate.
With mutt, which is very good. And yeah, I mean, if you do something like bishop f5, then e takes f5. I mean, I've
this looks nice for white.
Huge attack against the light squares there. So, I mean, I don't want to allow knight takes e7 and bishop g5, because then I'll never get rid of you on the dark squares. This might have been a cunning idea. The idea being that if knight check, I'm just going to try and claim that your knight's trapped. But of course, what you could do is you could well,
oh yeah, take that. Well, and take
I mean, I could do that. I could do that.
This is crazy. There's no, you can't. There's some reason why you can't.
That's a little bit, well, actually, yeah, knight g. I don't know. It's a sort of like,
but you can just bring that knight back to d5, and that must be quite.
That looks quite. That looks quite well. Not so. Yeah, I don't know. Bishop d5 is probably fine for black. I think takes knight d4, something like that, maybe. Could watch out for my knight on d4, but maybe I go back to e7. It's not so bad for black, this, but I don't know. It feels a little bit risky, but it could be it could be fine. The other idea would be to go bishop f8, and then you go bishop f8. I'm not quite sure. Queen f8 maybe, and then we go knight e3. But I would think this is the sort of thing that I always have this mental image then of Mickey just looking a bit happy with himself, and settling down for a long grind, having consolidated his grip on this square. So, but I mean, in principle, it's some sort of Sveshnikov kind of Kalashnikov sort of structure, not so bad. But maybe maybe king f8 is not the most accurate. I mean, we've got other sort of general sort of moves like rook c8, or we've got b5 as well, which that might be worth considering. Just on the one hand, you can say that it's annoying that white's played a3 because b4 doesn't chase away the knight. On the other hand, b4 will also open up the queen side straight away, which you wouldn't have with a3. So, I mean, normally the thing that you're wondering about in these sort of cases is, can white go knight d5 and move the knight out of the way of the attack already, And this is a little bit, this might be a bit annoying. I mean, knight d5, we take, and I guess we can do our
p6 again. Yeah,
p6 again, and don't really see what we can do. Bishop e6. I'll go bishop e4. Nice grip on d5. Nice grip on f5. So, probably not. Probably not good. And this is probably a bit annoying if black can go knight d5. If white can go knight d5 rather. So, and of course, I mean, after king f8, white could also go knight d5. I think this is going to be a major idea for white. I'm just trying to think: is there a way that I could kind of stop that? I mean, h4 to h3 or something. Are we? I don't think that's particularly amazing. I mean, queen a5, could that even be a possibility? Maybe. I think white's just got. I think white's just got a nice edge here. I mean, I think this knight on c6 is rather annoying. We're going to need to find a decent plan. If you're really hyper modern, you'd be looking at going knight b8. But I mean, at some stage, you've also got to watch out with that white doesn't play something like f4 simply, and start opening up the center a little bit.
Yeah.
So in principle, I like white in this position. I think Mickey's done a good job. So it's a slight advantage, and
black's played rook c8, by the way.
I've played rook c8. Okay. Can understand that black spent quite a bit of time thinking there, 10 minutes. Now Mickey's got to decide the plan that he wants to do. Knight d5, I think.
Mickey must have played as well, because it's the other guy thinking.
Oh, good lord. Wow. Knight ge2. Yeah, that's 4 minutes he's played. Okay, knight g2. That's very reasonable as well. What we can do, I mean, knight d5 is an idea. We can also just play a move like h3 and then threaten either g4 or f4 afterwards. So
So white's king looks the safer in principle.
I like white's position. Yeah. If this knight was on d7, I'd be very happy with black. I've had positions like this before. With the knight on c6, I'm a little bit. It feels a little bit less logical for black for me. So I think Mickey's going to be pretty happy with that. I think. Shall we let's have a little move on then to the next board. Yes. That's Constantin Lupulescu against Luke McShane. So this has been very solid play from white here. So c4, knight c3, and then e4. And funnily enough, this system was quite a favorite of AlphaZero. Funnily enough, played a number of games like this, and I don't know. It's not one of the ones I'm keenest on, to be honest. I mean, white gets this grip on the d5 square. Black gets the d4 square, so it leads to a bit of an impasse in the center. White's got a bit more space, but black's very, very solid. I mean, I would think that this would be something that Luke would play very well. And it's a question of putting your pieces on good squares. Nothing horrific is going to happen to you early, and I mean, Luke's just very good in these positions. So bishop b6, bishop e3. I think this is all quite well known in actual fact. It's bishop g4 from black, a very typical way of playing. We swap off the light square bishop for the knight so that we get hold of the d4 square, and then white is going after the bishop pair. Doesn't get the bishop pair, but gets one single bishop, and then plays h3. What is this position? I don't know. I mean, I see this position. I get very much an Anand Carlsen feeling from their World Championship. I mean, it's not that similar, and maybe I'm the only one who makes that association. But Magnus got some sort of solid position like this against Vichy and ground him down, in a beautiful game. And it has that feeling too, because I'm not really sure what White's doing, and I'm just seeing,
White could maybe next go bishop g5 and take off that knight on f6, because it would have to, if it doesn't want that, it would have to drop back to e8, which doesn't look very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna make a move, of course, as black first. I mean, there's a few ideas here. I mean, we can go queen e6, for example, is quite interesting. Just to want to go knight d7 and then to play f7 to f5. That's one idea. I'm quite keen on playing b5 as well, and also quite keen actually on lining up on this a3 pawn. With rook a4 and rook a8, because there's going to be a little bit of a challenge there. I mean, what is White going to aim for? A number of possible breaks. d4 is possible, but I think that'll make the e4 pawn weak, also the c4 pawn a little weak. I think probably White's normal thought would be to try and play f4 at some stage. Keep the center solid, restricting the black center, and then play for f4. But I'm not 100% sure that you're really going to be able to do that so well. But okay, let's have a little look at some possibilities then. I mean, I'd be much happier if these pawns are on b3 and a4, for example. That would be so much nicer. We'd just be stopping the black b5 break and also not having a weak pawn on a3. That's why I think that's kind of why I'm a little bit dissatisfied with all that. But okay, it might not be that serious. Queen e6 was played by Luke. Well, that's by far.
Oh yes, you predicted.
Yeah, it's by far the most natural move. I mean, in my youth, I would of course have been attracted by something like Queen a4, trying to come round into Queen b3. Which is also not as crazy as you might think. b5 also quite attractive, just to try and weaken the e4 square. But I think Queen e6 is a very good positional move. Just looking to bring the knight around and then play f5 eventually. What is White going to do here?
Is Queen ef5 bad?
Queen f5.
Just try and swap off queens for White, and then you've got your bishop against knight. It's sort of better without the queens, isn't it?
I'm not sure really. I mean, I don't. I mean, we don't actually even need to take, but I'm not sure about something like this when I start lining up on your a pawn. I'm not sure that you're really going to have so much scope. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, the idea of exchanging queens is certainly interesting. I mean, I was thinking more of when you go knight d7, for example, later, that I play queen g4 and try and get the double pawns this way, when I'm clamping down on f5, and then I can play g3 and f4 later. That would be more my favorite exchange, rather than doubling the pawns in this way. But I mean, queen g3. I was sort of thinking about it as well, because queen g3 maybe, and then if knight h5, then I could think about playing queen g4. That was kind of the idea.
Yeah, that's a better way.
Maybe. Yeah, it's just. But it doesn't feel. Yeah, it doesn't feel like very much at all. I mean, White could also play a move like a4. Try and make this pawn a little bit more active. But it's always going to be weak. This a pawn always need a little bit of protection. I mean, you could play bishop c1 to b2, I suppose, to give it some protection, but that feels a little bit like wasting time. I mean, you could also with White rather play a move like g4, and then queen g3, and then look for f4. I think that's maybe not an unreasonable move for White.
Ooh, yeah.
But I don't know.
That move.
I mean, there's we're starting. It's quite complicated, because and I think it's these positions are always quite complicated when it feels sort of level, because there's not that much happening. But there are all sorts of interesting possibilities, and you're just trying to judge a little bit. Can I do this? Is this proportionate in this position? Have I been given a chance or not? And often the calculations are quite difficult. I mean, moves like this are quite interesting.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and go Queen B3. I mean, your idea is you just want to start, trying to get at the pawns. But on the other hand, C7 is
counter-attack on the C file.
Yeah, but I mean, you take on D3, E4's gone as well. So there's all sorts of little things like that are vaguely possible. But I mean that's quite interesting. But I think G4 is quite is definitely quite an interesting and normal move. I think you could, if you wanted, do something like even just like Queen D1, Queen E2, and then just play for F4. That's another possibility. Also very reasonable indeed to do that. So it's going to be a tough struggle, but I mean, Luke's he's good at maneuvering. He's good at this sort of position. He's a really good grinder. So I'd expect that. I expect that he's pretty happy with the position so far.
Shall we check Gawain?
Yeah, now Gawain
had a lovely win yesterday.
Indeed. I'm playing against Mircea Emilian Parligras.
He plays a lot, doesn't he?
He plays an awful lot. Yeah, he's a very active player. Interesting. Let's have a look at the game. So E4, E5. It was a Berlin. Only
another one.
Berlin declined. So with D3, very sensible.
We had a game like that yesterday. That was, I think, David was black against it.
Okay.
If I'm remembering right, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean I always used to play this way as white. I caught on too late on the Berlin, and by then it was just so much theory. It was just too late. That was always my feeling. But this is a very interesting way to play. And there's loads of ways of playing it. Gawain playing it in a very just a natural and restrained way. Rook E1, Knight E7, very nice idea. First shown to me, I mean, years and years and years ago, 94, 95 by Josef Dorfman, the great Russian trainer, very strong player, and very, very good in Lopez structures. And he showed me, this idea of playing Knight E7 to G6 very, very early. Even before, bringing the bishop out of the way. The idea being that, if you take on E5, then, stuff like E4 is going to be hanging as well, or you'll have counterplay against F2. It's a very nice idea. You get the knight out of the way, and that gives you the possibility to play moves like C6, for example, and then D5. And I mean, many ideas like this played nowadays. But I think Gawain with white, you can't be unhappy with this double pawn center, reasonably easy development. But black's black's got a slight space disadvantage, but very logically organized. So just basically a tough middle game. That's what we're going for. So H3, very standard move, covering G4 against Bishop G4 or Knight G4. Bishop A7 out of the way, B4. A lot of shadow boxing going on. Bishop D7, Bishop B2. Wow! And now we get an interesting move. Here's where it starts getting a bit sharper. B5. I haven't seen that move before, actually. This idea. I might just be a bit behind the times. But it's just that in the Lopez, you always the normal Lopez, the bishop goes to B5, and then you chase it with A6, B5. And then you spend all your time trying to repair that weakness. The Chigorin, you go Knight A5 and C5. The Breyer, you go Knight B8. So you can go Knight D7 and C6. So to play B5 in this sort of structure feels a little bit like, wrecking your own pawn structure. But the idea is simply to prevent white from, I mean, black's just fighting back, and trying to stop white from taking too much space on the queen side. So white takes.
It feels like you'd want to take it off. Oh, he has, yeah.
That's done, yeah. I mean, white, opening up the A file just because the rook's attacking the bishop on A7. not an exchange sacrifice yet.
I was going to say, yeah.
No, I mean, it's a plus and minus. It's a temporary plus, because the bishop's attacked by the rook. Yeah, but Shirov's, yeah, that's right, Kevin. Shirov's been having a hell of a time recently. He's been playing so well, nearly 2,700 again. So after a big dip there, so lovely to see, actually. The only drawback is that once the bishop moves away, then we're going to start swapping off pieces, which might be a little bit less attractive. But okay, Gawain keeps it going with c4. So hitting the pawn on b5 and also opening up the bishop against this pawn on e5. So going to be quite interesting, this one. So b takes c4, pretty natural. D takes c5 from Gawain, and black is thinking, quite a big decision for black here now. He's in the Manx. Oh, good lord. The Manx 4
NCL squad. Is he? Oh, good. Excellent. Because he's played 4 NCL before, hasn't he, Sheriff? But not for Manx.
For Wood Green.
Wood Green, he
played him.
I remember when you played him.
Guildford.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that Manx was already pretty good. So this will only help.
I mean, actually, quite a few of this team. I think Lupulescu and Parley Gra played for the Manx team already. It's going to start adding people like Shirov to it, then
it's going to win. It's going to win the 4 NCL.
It's going to be quite strong, I think. Because Guildford, I think they're focusing on local players and young players next season. So it's looks like Manx is gonna make it. So what have we got here? We've got d takes c5, and black has got to make a decision here.
You would think black needs to take back that pawn on e5.
You would definitely think so. That's definitely something. Just always get attracted to idiotic things somehow. Just when I see these, it's just you got some tactics and stuff, and you just sort of think, could I make one of these crazy things work? But I don't think so.
If you go c3, you just take it, right?
Yeah, no, I know. It's just a
cunning plan. I never know whether you've got a cunning plan.
It's an intermediate move in the position. That's the thing. We've also got I don't know, stuff somewhere, but I don't think it's anything at all. So let's go back to the normal stuff. So I mean, what are the ideas? You could go knight takes c5 or d takes c5. That's not an easy decision to make. On the one hand, with black, you normally say you want to swap off pieces because that gives you a little bit of extra space. On the other hand, you have spent 1, 2, 3 moves moving the knight to g6. So moving the knight back to taking on e5 and swapping it off, that's quite a lot of wasted tempi.
Yeah.
Also, the knight's aiming for f4, so that's quite a nice square for the knight. The only slight drawback to it is if white gets in g3, then this knight will be a little bit dead. So it's really, for black, this decision is about thinking very carefully about the ensuing position and where will my pieces be active.
If you take back with the pawn, then just like knight c4 must be nice for white, no?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really alter. If you take back with a knight, I can take back. I can take with a knight and go here, which is quite similar. Basically.
It's just quite nice for Gawain, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the big question, I suppose, is the counterplay that black can get. Because I mean, there's the e4 pawn, right? Which and the bishop on a7 is pinning this one. So if you start attacking the e4 pawn, you can't defend it with a pawn, put it that way. So
like what, bishop c6?
Bishop c6, for example. But then that's sort of the question: is it better to do it with the knights on g6 and f3, or is it better to do it in this sort of setup? And that's kind of the thing you've got to decide. I mean, let's have a quick look. Bishop c6, attacking this pawn. I guess that we could simply claim that we go. Well, I mean, there's knight e5. Knight e5 is possible. And I mean, also stuff like Queen C2, for example, is also possible. Although, yeah, I mean, you have to maybe assess what's going to happen after something like Bishop D4, for example. But you could have Rook D1 then. So yeah, I mean, that's sort of possible. Is there anything after D takes C5, Knight C4? Is there anything that that looks a bit clearer? Something where we could get some additional counterplay with black? I mean, this knight is covering the D4 square, so you don't actually get Bishop D4 ideas. So that might be something that you think about. Yeah, I mean, we can also try and hit the B4 pawn as well with a Queen E7. You know, just try and do that in return. Yeah, but that doesn't seem like there's. It doesn't feel like there's lots and lots of tactics for black, really.
No,
so it might just be,
I don't think so. Yeah,
might just be that that white's just a little bit better there.
Yeah. Okay.
Possible. Just. Yeah, just I'm wondering vaguely about.
We'll see. Oh, David. Yeah, we'll see in a moment, David.
Queen B8.
Didn't get mated in 6 moves. That's good.
That's always positive. That's what you like from your players.
No, in the analysis yesterday, there was like a checkmate. It was probably David's game as well. There was like this checkmate on D1 that could have happened after about move 8. No, it was Gwain's game. Because they played some very interesting opening where it was out of theory from about move 3.
Okay. I was getting excited by Knight G4 and Queen H4, but no, it's all rubbish. All rubbish. So we'll see. I think yeah, it looks like White's just got a nice solid plus there, and Black's going to have to find some sort of accurate way to. I mean, I'm guessing this one's the best, and then find some accurate way to try and put some pressure on B4 and E4 in compensation for E5. Maybe Bishop C6, maybe something like Queen B8. But yeah, White's definitely a pleasant advantage, and Black's going to be a bit more accurate there. So let's have a look. We've got David Howell, David Gavrilescu against David Howell. So a Caro-Kann, that's what David plays all the time, and White played the 4 knights. Yes, David didn't go Knight BD7 indeed, will Sonia? Very
so
important.
You'll see it on the board, Knight BD7.
But that's why we get these sort of people in for the English team. That's so Bishop E6, very unusual move against this line. B3, Knight D7, Bishop B2. It is quite original what both sides are doing here. Queen E3, Bishop F5, C4 played to stop Knight D5. E6, Bishop E2, and actually we're going to, in some strange way, we're going to transpose back into a pretty standard Caro-Kann structure, where Black's exchange off one set of minor pieces. White's got a slight space advantage, but yeah, Black's decent. I mean, I do have to say, Bishop C2 played. I do have to say that. Yeah. These have never really been my favorite positions with Black. I find them a little bit flat for Black. I find it hard to create any play. I always think it's due to the light squared bishop, which I mean, I'm always used to having mine on the long diagonal somehow, and here it's pointing away at the queen side. And yeah, I always felt that these positions are very difficult to win. But there's people like Keith Arkle who are very, very happy in these types of positions. So I'm just wondering whether this is a tacit offer of a draw from David, or maybe just a cunning plan to waste the opponent's time. She's gone back to G6. I mean, if we go Rook D1, then Bishop C2, Rook C1 would be a draw.
You probably wouldn't play Rook D1 though with White. Would you? Because you could do. There's plenty of other things you could do.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not a forced draw or anything, but but it might be that wouldn't be
because I think if I were white and then I played rook d1, David might repeat once or something and then not do the whole draw, and I think white would feel silly.
Yeah, although I mean the idea of rook d1 would be to play the rook ac1, so I mean that's quite a good, that's the ideal, that's white's ideal setup. That's the point. And if you don't go rook d1, then you've got to think of something else. I don't know. I mean, we'll see whether that happens or not, but it might do. Yeah. It's a possibility. But pretty quiet basically in David's game. But I'm sure, as always, it'll hot up later.
So do you think David would go for the draw then?
I don't know really.
Maybe he would as black. Yeah.
It's conceivable. I mean, it's in a team competition, a draw as black is fine. It depends how you're feeling, right? And all sorts of things.
True.
But this is, just in general practical terms, it's not a silly thing to do at all. To throw in a repetition, you get close to the time control, and then afterwards, white always spends a little bit of time thinking, what's happening here, and then after he spends 5 minutes here, you carry on and you gain 5 minutes on the clock. So whichever way David does it, it's it's a good practical decision. Yeah, very very sensible. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. Just my experience of playing players around that rating, on board 3-4 with black. I had the feeling that I got a number of draws by repetition offered, quite often.
Yeah.
So it's I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Should we have a look at the women's team?
Yes, let's do that.
So I was looking a little bit earlier, and I thought that Zoe had come out very well from the opening. But let's start with black. Lenka Pataknikova against Katarzyna Toma. Black is under a little bit of pressure here. It's been a Reti. Very quiet opening here. C4, Queen B3, Queen C8 played from black. To defend, and white's idea really is all that white's claiming is that this queen is more active than this queen. That's all that white's claiming. So c takes d5, knight c3, d3, knight c6, castles. So yeah, I mean black's got the knight, has played c6 because of the exchange on d5, gets the knight out to the great position c6, but just that the queen now is on an open c file. So white is just going to sort of play moves like rook c1, play knight e5, and just try and get rid of the knight and then invade with the rook on c7. It's they're annoying systems. I mean, you're really white's incredibly safe, and with black you often have the feeling that all you're doing right from the opening is just playing for a draw. So knight h5 played, bishop g5. That's interesting. Bishop d2 is also a possibility. But bishop g5 is interesting. Takes. Bishop g6 played to try and, I suppose, to get out of the way of a possible e4. h4 is a slightly strange move. Wondering a little bit why white.
I know what she's trying to do. She's trying for g4 and then h5 to try and trap the bishop.
Yeah, that's very risky.
Yeah.
That's very, very risky, I have to say. But h6 played, and then knight f3. I mean, obviously, pardon me, I'm quite a fan of h4 moves, but I don't know. Not 100% sure whether this one has really done the business. But knight f6 and then knight a4. Yeah, it's just a little bit annoying for black. I mean, the knight's coming round to c5. We've also got ideas of going knight e5. And of course, now you've played h6, then knight e5 takes g6 will rather wreck your pawns. So yeah, it's just one of those positions where yeah, with black, you often feel, or I certainly felt very often, my goodness, White's just played this this very, very quiet opening, and I'm having to think, that's
feels to me like loads of black's problems are from the queen on c8.
Yeah.
Which just kind of is like, then that knight on c6 can't move and the rooks aren't connected. And
no, that's right. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea of this opening system. Queen b3, queen c8, and then you just carry on. But yeah, in principle, White's got a small edge, but an annoying one, because it doesn't feel for the moment like black's going to have any winning chances here. It's going to be about playing well in order to hold a minimal disadvantage. Queen b8 is very natural to get out of
just moved it off,
and try and deal with that. But yeah, moves like knight c5 might be interesting now. Okay, that's Katarzyna's game. Then we've got Louise Head.
Louise. Now I really want Louise to win today. That would
against Halagur Thorstein-Dottir, daughter of Thorstein.
Because it's tough on board 2 of this up here. And so she's like, I think in all the other games so far, she has been outrated, but I think today she is not. So
yeah, I think it must be about the same, aren't they? 2069 to 2010.
She's ahead. So
this is I think
steering heavily for Louise.
Yeah, this is a nice position for White in principle, I think. Probably.
Yeah. Hi, Universal Chess Life.
Hi, Universal. Yeah, I mean, it's these are very interesting, these systems. It's quite a nice choice. You don't play the pawn to e4, but you put the in a triangle e3, d4, c3, and it really makes this massive. It's a real rock, this pawn structure that's very hard to get at. And normally, for black players of the Grunfeld, as the ones who are attacking the center, and here you're fighting against a triangle of pawns that's very solid. So from that point of view, that's always a nice system to play against it. Black's played fairly sensibly here. I think, didn't black play c6 and then c5? Look how that went. So d4, g6, d5, the bishop g5 system, bishop f4. This is how you get this structure. Black swaps the knight off on c3. E4 has been played, but queen a4 check is quite sensible, and then Louise goes for e3. c6 was threatening b5, of course. We don't want to take really with a bishop, so we go queen takes c4, and knight b6, get a few tempi against the queen, and then develop here. And then black's playing very sensibly here with rook c8 and then a4. So Kevin, it's
Louise a few years ago, and Rebbe when he was under 2000. You got to get them when they're young, Kevin, and get your wins in. Like I did against Luke. I was 4.5 out of 5 against Luke at the age of 7. I used to play him all the time in these Barbican quick plays, and he was tiny.
Just wondering. Yeah, so so a4's a good move in principle, a very natural move, put it that way, because often black plays knight a4. That's a pretty common idea, So playing a4 with white is interesting, and it's also, oops, sorry, not doing that. Also got the threat of playing pawn to a5, just to attack the pawn on b7. Yeah, I mean, black's got a number of ways of playing this. I mean, knight d5 is quite interesting.
Okay.
And your idea might be to meet, if you do something like bishop g3, to play knight takes c3 here. And if queen c3, c takes d4, that might be quite awkward. It's certainly quite interesting, because it's a bit of a tough one about where you're going to put your queen. If you go to a3, for example, I go rook c3 and pick up the bishop on d3. So you have to, well, you don't actually have that many legal moves, actually. Queen b4, could be a possibility. Would we have anything then for black? Maybe not.
Black
Maybe.
just take on e3.
Yeah, but we go
rook and the bishop.
We could go rook a3 maybe, or rook d1. I'm not quite sure which one. Maybe it's just not. Maybe this not. I thought it was going to be quite good for black, but actually looking at this, white seems to be in total control there. So I've probably completely overdone that. So that's good at least. That's nice. If it's not working, then that's great. I mean, alternatively, white could also think about playing the move bishop e5, just to offer the exchange of bishops. And if you go f6, I go bishop g3, and obviously, that's blocked in this bishop on g7. So that would also be quite decent as well. I mean, what you could do, with black as well is just say this move, for example. You could. This is a very natural way of playing queen a5, hitting the pawn on c3. Yeah, exactly. I always
sacrifice. It's not Louise's. It's Hallgerdur's pieces.
Exactly.
I suppose we can go c4. Oh no, we can't. No. I was going to say c4, d5, but that bishop is attacking the queen and the rook.
Yeah, that's right. But I think your goal always should be with these things to keep these guys solid, basically. So rook fc1 might be an idea there. I mean, I think in principle, black sort of should be just looking at the moves that black's played. It feels quite reasonable what black has done. So I would think that black would be in principle fine, but quite a bit of choice for black right now, about what to do. So yeah, complicated game in sight. But yeah, knight d5, queen a5 would probably be the sort of the first thing I'd be thinking of. I think. It's there's other moves, queen d7, queen e8, but I'm not 100% sure about them. So yeah, knight d5 feels decent in principle. Okay, let's have a look then at the next board, which is Johanna Bjorg Johansdottir, so daughter of Johan, against Shore Bayat. And this is a bit of a wild one. What has been happening here? So we've got Italian game, h3 a little bit unusual, but c3 back into normal stuff, a6, a4, h6, castles, all very good, sensible moves. White taking some queenside space there. Black.
It's quite the Alpha 01 where I don't know if she fancied that with a, like bishop c5 and a6 and then an early knight h6 and get it.
No, nothing like that happened indeed. So bishop e6, rook e6. I've never understood why f takes e6 just isn't good for black, but yeah, there's been massive analysis of it, and it's apparently just good for white. But knight f1, d5. So very, very concrete, direct play from Shore. Queen e2, king h7. King h7.
What's she trying for? She's going to try for f5, isn't she?
I don't know. King h7.
I always think everything's trying for f5.
Yeah, I don't know. King f7, king h7. It feels a bit unnatural because there are it's not impossible that something comes to the a b1 h7 diagonal with queen e4.
She's not trying for g5, is she? That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. Now g6. I mean, maybe that was the idea was simply to meet knight g3 with g6, so protecting h6. That's possible. It's a little bit, I don't know. I don't know whether, I don't know. But okay. Queen d2 played, attacking the pawn h6. Knight g8.
She is trying for f5, I tell you.
No, we're protecting the h6 pawn here. I think is the key. Rook a4. Wow, look at that from White's playing very.
White's going to swing the rook.
Swingy wingy over to h4. So d4 from Shore. That's a very sensible way. And of course, white will be kicking herself a little bit for then maybe not having taken on d5 first. I don't know whether it was good, but whenever you get balked like that, you're always
Yeah.
So, that's interesting. C4.
Hi, Mark.
So C4 from white there. Interesting. Wouldn't have been my first thought, but presumably looking to try and expand with B4. Bishop
I'm sure he's going to
C5.
try and go bishop. Oh.
And bishop F8. So that's actually quite sensible, because that bishop was sort of getting threatened with extinction on A7, and now it's brought back to F8. So
yeah, she might even go like H5 and bishop H6.
Well, H5 might allow knight G5 check with carnage.
Oh, she better not do that.
Well, that could be an idea, I suppose. So B5 played from white, knight A7 takes and rook takes. Well, actually, I think. Oh, wait a minute, isn't oh, ha ha ha! Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Knight E5. What's the response?
Wait a minute. Knight E5. What are we doing?
Do 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 do.
Oh, no, countdown. I was hoping the chat was going to tell me the answer, but then I suppose they got
Natasha, a delay. How many have you got?
Sorry, what? Oh, how many letters? 7 in my name.
Right, but have you found the tactic?
No, because you're putting me off. Right.
Has Mary Hatman been on Countdown?
Mary Hatman has been on Countdown, actually. That's true. And so has Matthew Turner. Grandmaster Matthew Turner got to the grand final, didn't he?
Oh,
he
really?
was practicing at my house. Yeah. Yeah. It was on my computer, like way back in the 90s, before anyone had computers, and he stayed up all night after the varsity match playing Countdown on my computer. Then he went on TV and.
But Mary Hatman was on the chase.
He was on the chase. He certainly was.
Mary Hatman.
Queen E8. Queen E8 is what I'm saying. Yes, that's good because it forks the knight and rook.
well seen, well spotted. That's yeah, and something like Queen F4 might look a little bit dangerous, but then we've got Rook F6 always, so that's going to. So okay, that's a lovely little tactic from Sheree, which means that the knight's coming round to C6 after to defend E5, then A5.
Yeah, and the A pawn's gone.
So I think that Sheree has played actually some very unusual maneuvers, but actually it's looking quite good. So looking
wonderful.
Positive.
Wonderful, wow. Wonderful.
And finally, we've got Zoe Varney against...
Not Louise, Zoe, horsey chess.
Zoe Varney against Rund Hauksdottir. So she's the daughter of Hauks. I hope that's right, by the way, that I'm not completely misrepresenting.
Yeah, no, I think that is all what it means.
That is, I think, what it means, isn't it? So horsey chess played something quite outrageous, really. She played a centre game. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice surprise weapon, because if black doesn't react quite sharply to it, you know, there are plenty of good ways of playing against it. But this, for example, is not the best. I think you know, Rook E8, for example, is one very good way of playing it against it. But Queen E7 is slightly less good, and then you just sort of get this F3 G4 attack, and you just get, you know, it's just like a big attack for free, really. So yeah, Zoe's got that. So
another chess player on Countdown was Mark's friend John Clark. There's quite a lot of chess players have been on Countdown.
Good Lord. How many chess players been on 8 out of 10 Cats-like Countdown? But
oh, I don't know about that. And there was, of course, the famous chess player on Millionaire.
Jim Plaskett.
Jim Plaskett won a whole lot.
So it's yeah, no, it's I don't know in America whether anyone's been on you know, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something like that. It's I haven't heard of any chess players doing that, but
in America,
yeah, but
Danny Gormley was on the chase. I saw that Danny Gormley was on the chase, and he, you know, like when they have the high offer, the medium offer, and the low offer. And the low offer was negative, so his team was really cross because he took the low offer. But then I think they then won the money, so
okay,
it was justified.
It's but anyway, Zoe playing knight D5, F4, in we go, Rook D2.
Danny should have been on the celebrity version. Very good.
Knight c3. Yeah, this is looking quite promising for white. Knight b6, f5. In we go. Playing f5 once the knight can no longer go into e5. This is very, very aggressive. This is, and black's thinking. Not surprisingly.
Mm. He won 4K. Yes. And 15-1. Blue-grey haze. Thank you.
15-1. Oh, good lord!
Do you remember 15-1? That was like general knowledge, and you had 3 lives, and they'd ask you have to pick on someone to ask the next question. He's a good quizzer,
yeah. No, it's so yeah, f5 play. So yeah, in general, I mean, unless black's got some really super amazing active way of playing with some d5 or something like that, then in general, you're sort of thinking that you like white's position basically. So just wonder. I don't know. Just trying to think of some some odd ways to play. Really, I mean, Queen e8 is quite would be quite funny, really.
Going for knight d5, is it?
Well, bishop f5 actually is what I'm going for. And the idea would be that if you played a move like Queen f4, which is quite natural, I'd want to try and go knight a4 here.
Ooh.
And sort of
mix it up.
Yeah, because what happens after bishop b5?
Is this a tactical quiz again, or were you asking yourself?
Well,
you could do d7 if that's what if that's.
Did you get the mate into, Natasha?
Knight c3 and knight a2.
Indeed, knight a2. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's maybe I don't know. Maybe is f4 to f5? Has this been a little bit over the top? Was maybe just going knight f3 better? Some development, maybe. But it's aggressive and it's showing the right spirit. So I think we're I think we're cheering for Zoe in this one. So yeah, I mean, black's basically got to start showing some good calculation and some creativity. Otherwise, the pieces are going to come out and it's going to be end of story. So yeah, good play from Zoe there. Do you have somebody that should we have a look at some of the other teams now?
Yes,
maybe?
Let's have a look. Is Freddie playing today? We could have a look at.
Yeah, I always have a look. Always have a little look at Freddie to see how Freddie's doing. Let's have a look. Freddie, of course, he's playing. He's played lots. He's played all of them.
He hasn't played them all, but he has played lots. He didn't play round 1, I think.
So he's okay. He's got okay. This only is only his 5th game, but he's that's a pretty good.
He's now he's hit form and he's just won the last 2 in a row.
Yeah, excellent. He's he's a bit worse here today against Filip Mihov. So what have we got? He's a pawn down. Yes, but he's managed to exchange off the queens here. Was that okay? That's what he's done here. So he played b5, f4 was played. b5 takes queen b6. It's actually oh, he's tricky. He's tricky, Freddie. This is actually quite an interesting idea because this bishop's a little bit out of play now. So I mean, your idea really is that okay, I've given up a pawn, but I'm going to get my knight active, and this bishop isn't going to get out easily. If you go f5, once I've exchanged off queens, I might just go g5, and okay, I've got h4 maybe, but it's an interesting idea this from Freddie, and not a bad way at all to get some counterplay. So I mean, I think in principle white's better, but yeah, plenty of yeah.
If white just takes the queen,
yeah,
then we're hitting this d pawn.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go bishop f7 and keep on hitting it as well. So rook coming to c8. Maybe this one.
A4. It's fine, doesn't it?
It's not so bad. I think I think I'd expect that white is better here, but I think, yeah, I like the resource because he was a bit squashed in this position. You know, it was looking quite, quite unpleasant for Black, and then he's just changed the nature of the position very quickly there. So, yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
People are asking for Duda and Firouzja.
Duda and Firouzja.
I don't know if they're playing each other or different games here, but let's see Duda, because I think Duda's position is going to be interesting.
So let's have a look. Oh wait, we've got Firouzja first here. So Firouzja against Jabava. Yeah, Firouzja's a little bit better here. It's yeah. I mean,
John Saunders just said Freddie's opponent there was the Oxford Board 2 from the varsity match. I didn't notice yet. Okay, cool.
Oh, funny. It's a small world. It's yeah. I mean, Firouzja's got a definite advantage here. Black's problem is that there's no real breaks. You know, f6 is a little bit awkward. c5, you know, sort of gives b5 to the bishop, so it's not really clear that that's an advantage. And then white is going to build up nice and slowly, in principle, to sort of squeeze Black. So, yeah, I mean, in principle, I think that that white's got a very nice position here. So, yeah, I think, Jabava's gonna need to find some of his magic there, I think, to get out of this one, because he's very good at keeping control. Ali Reza, he does that very, very well. And a move like h3, that's really, you know, this last move h3, that's really showing that you feel that you're in complete control and you're just going to protect everything. And I think the king's also coming around to h2, rook to g1 as well. So yeah, I think a difficult afternoon for Jabava.
Very mature player, isn't he, Firouzja? Like Freddie as well. That you'd think they were older than they are.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic player. Fantastic player, can do pretty much everything. It's interesting as well because we've had 2 draws on the bottom boards here. So it's Vachilagrave and Firouzja playing for the result here. So quite interesting. Let's have a look at Poland.
Duda, yeah.
Whoa, very nice. Obviously,
this king's.
I mean, Duda's a pretty crazy player, and Nisipianu's an incredible player as well. So. Yeah, you know, when those two meet, you should have something quite good. Okay, so it's this variation. Yeah, knight d5, and do you know what this line is called? In actual fact, actually, after the next move, king e2.
Oh, I've seen it before. It's crazy though, isn't it? And I don't know what it's called, but
called the Sicilian bomb cloud, they're calling it.
Sicilian bomb cloud. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's very well known. I mean, it's been in the
Laid bomb cloud.
That's right, Sorum. It's been in the in the repertory for a very long time, but people did really think that it was quite dodgy. But yeah, you know, with computer analysis and some new discoveries, it's turned out to be quite interesting. So, castles played. Is that normal?
Because we played it very fast.
We seem to be leaving a knight on d5 on prise. Is my
that's yes, a deep analysis there. Yes, it does seem so, doesn't it?
I wonder whether this is newish. I don't imagine it's new, but I haven't seen this. Wow. C takes d5. So B sacrifice. In we go. I mean, Nisipianu's got loads of these lovely ideas. There's a very famous one in the Schliemann where he had a double pawn sack idea that he prepared for Magnus Carlsen, I think. You know, so he's got masses of these ideas. So knight d6 from Duda, very natural, just to swap off the one of Black's bishops. F6 played, takes. And yeah, I mean, this is just Black's just going for long-term compensation. It says, I'm better developed, your king's a bit rubbish. And, you know, I mean, even if you get a little bit...
You want to go king f3 though, don't you now?
Yeah, no, we're going to do that quite soon. Oh, but Duda played rook b1. Wow. Oh wow! And then look at this, G5. Now I wouldn't have. That wouldn't have been my first thought.
Oh no, you wouldn't have thought to open up the position when the only piece you've got out is your king.
Yeah. Well, no, it's black doing it, isn't it? It's playing G5. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, FK.
You don't want to take.
We've got Queen E5 check. Then probably is some sort of danger. So wow. So white played Queen D3. Queen take. Whoa, Queen. Whoa! Wow! Look at that. Queen takes C1. I can tell you, I'm not anticipating any of these moves.
No.
King F3.
King
Bishop
F3.
takes B2, threatening Rook C3.
So how does white get the
King
rook
T4,
out? Oh, he doesn't.
escaping.
Brings the king in. Nigel Short, King Mark.
G3, and white's thinking. I don't know. I mean, I imagine that that white's just winning this, really. But
Kevin thinks Duda's in trouble.
Nah, white must be winning this. But presumably there might still be some tactics. I'm not sure. I mean, what if you just go Bishop G2? Actually, is what's the? I mean, there has to be some sort of clever idea against this. Otherwise, we're just going to be completely lost, I think.
Queen. Yeah. Basically, white's got a queen for a rook, bar a few pawns, but the pawns aren't going to be that exciting that quickly, are they?
No. I mean, what you'd really like to do is to do something like Rook C3 and then Rook G8 and line up on this G3 pawn. But I mean, here I go Queen D4 check. You know.
Yeah. So it just looks good for white.
I think it's going to be good for white. The only thing is, are you going to get caught by some ridiculous tactic? For example, if you go king, I could go King G8, and then if Queen F4.
Don't go Queen F4. Don't go Queen F4 because then you get pinned.
Rook C4.
But you could go Queen A7 maybe.
Queen A7.
I don't know, like just attacking the rook on
Queen A7.
The rook on B8 and the pawn on D7.
Yeah, no, this is.
I mean, maybe you don't need to go for more material, but
this is just winning for white, I think. Yeah, I mean, some lovely ideas from this piano, but maybe just a little bit too much. Simply, I can't believe that this is going to be anything. I mean, the only way that it could, you could get some sort of miraculous thing because, of course, this light square bishop is not. I mean, could you do something like, I don't know, Rook G8 check? You take off, and then you go Bishop E5, something like this.
Okay, G4. And can you just defend it like Bishop F3?
Yeah, I mean G8 is also possible. It would just be that the idea would be that that you can make some sort of fortress because this bishop can't get active, but long term it can't be true. It's just yeah. I mean, I think that unless there's some incredible, lovely tactics that I'm missing, I think that the black is just it's just winning. But maybe we go something like. I suppose we could go something like Rook C4. That might be the best thing.
Rook C4, yeah. Okay, so the question is, can you take on F4?
Well, yeah, then I'd go Rook G8 check.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could do that.
Maybe just get your rook out then as well, like Rook to F1.
Rook to F1.
Oh, then you take on G3 check, don't you?
Yeah. I go Rook G8.
And then just Rook. Oh, if you take it back, you just go Rook C3.
Oh, Rook C3. That's clever, isn't it? Takes Rook C3. That's the one. So, I mean, maybe we go King H3. That feels like the most.
Oh yeah.
Natural decide, but there's still going to be some tactics. I mean, you could do something like here, for example, and you might get in bishop e5.
Yeah.
It's going to be still tricks. Yeah, that's right, Kevin. I mean, it's still some tricks, but I mean, in principle, you'd say, this must be winning. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't be amazed either to see White blundering into a tactic somewhere. But on the other hand, Duda's got masses of time, so yeah, it's. But wow, amazing play from this piano, I have to say. Huge imagination there, and fantastic, brilliant. Okay, should we have a look at the our the open top boards again?
Open team, yeah.
And we'll have a quick. Oh, we have had a draw.
We did this repetition. I tell you what, this Gavrilescu's been playing well, though. I always looked up his results, and he's been doing really well. So I'm not too surprised if David didn't mind a quick draw with black.
No, I mean it's a perfectly. He's drawn a lot, Gavrilescu.
He hadn't lost any, and he had a good performance rating, I think.
Yeah, he's up 7 on 25-14. So yeah, fair enough. But draw with black always decent for the team there. So well played, David. Right, let's go back to Mickey. See what's happening there. Ooh, okay. So quite interesting. So e5 was played. That's when we saw it last, and knight to d5 was played. So that's what we were basically saying. That this was one.
Yeah, we were looking at takes. Yeah, and if they take again, you go bishop g6.
Yeah, so knight a5 played. That's quite interesting, isn't it? And then knight c3 played from Mickey. Yeah, just a b3 feels quite tempting in a way to try and keep the knight out of c4, but you might end up just getting hit anyway. White might just that might sacrifice at some stage. I don't know. Interesting. Knight c3 played by Mickey. That's very sensible. Knight c4, choppy. b3, rook c8, and then rook g1 from Mickey. So yeah, we're back into some sort of normal-ish Najdorf. Actually, probably black is probably decently happy with this. You managed to get rid of your annoying knight on c6, and you've got some sort of scope for.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about Queen a5.
So knight d7 and then a4 from Mickey. That's interesting. Always like these sort of moves where black seems to be attacking on one side, and then afterwards you turn it around by playing a move like a4, b4 and knight a2, attacking b4, rook b8, and now queen e1.
Is he trying to drop his bishop back to d2 and take on b4?
I think that's just a simple plan, actually. I think that is indeed what Mickey's going for. And do you know, it might not be that easy to prevent.
Well, I guess black's going to get the d5 pawn instead.
Black could indeed get the d5 pawn. Interesting, all this. All right, so how could we... does he? No, okay. What is black going to do here?
Well, black...
So, I mean, just trying to think. I mean, it's bishop d2. This is really kind of... I think it's really White's only idea, really, isn't it? I can't think of another plan that you'd really play.
With the castle, you could do like g4.
Yeah, that's right. That's possible too. But so I mean, I was just wondering whether I could play a move like f5 then, and just.
Then I might try g4.
Yeah. Okay. I think if you go g4, I'll maybe take.
Okay. Take and f4. You're going to go. I'm sure.
All right. Shall I try that one?
Oh, well, you can if you want to. Then I'm going. You're not threatening anything much, so I'm going to take on f5 if you do.
All right. Shall I take back?
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And then
Or maybe I throw in a maybe I throw in a queen c7 or rook c8 first. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, this is a little bit loose. This is I do have to say
queen g3. Yeah.
or something like that. I mean, I could play the move f4. That would be possible.
Yes.
You go bishop d2.
Yes.
Probably. And now queen d5, maybe?
Yes.
Or rook h2.
Then I could take on f4 if I wanted to, or b4.
h2, there's queen e, rook h2. h2, maybe?
You're going there. All right, you can. Knight takes.
Knight c6, maybe.
Yeah, that's the plan. Although you can take my bishop on d2, can't you? And then
I've got various ideas. I don't know. Yeah, this is very sharp. I mean,
right.
This is really, really sharp. I don't know.
Yeah, when knight c6.
Knight c6.
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to take on a4, are you?
Oh, I've got a few.
With something. You could take it with the knight, couldn't you? Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, this is that's the first obvious one, I suppose. I have a bad feeling about this for white, really, but
yeah. But that's okay because we're just commentating.
We're just commentating. Yeah, I'm not sure. G4's quite sharp. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I suppose the idea was after bishop d2, I was kind of thinking I can go queen takes d5. That was kind of the idea. And if bishop b4, I'll go maybe queen e6, you know, and sort of play like that. And maybe it's nice to have the knight on there. Because yeah, if you go castles, then g4 is probably going to be a little bit irritating. I mean, you could try moves like just like h4 and block it in, but I'm not sure.
Then maybe f4.
Yeah, it's a very weird position, really, because if this knight doesn't take this pawn, it's really not doing a great job on a2. So I think white really wants to be quick with bishop d2. I mean, you could also look for bishop f6 with black, but I think, yeah, probably e4 check is not going to be so dangerous when you've got your king still in the center. I do like f5. I think it's probably
F5.
I think it's the move that you really want to play. But
yeah. I still want g4 then. I think it was.
Oh,
was it okay? Wasn't it okay? Maybe it wasn't.
We weren't sure really. It's very complicated. I mean, bishop d2 is the sort of the most obvious thing. Just threatening knight b4. And then we go queen d5, and then we could go knight b4, we could go bishop b4. I mean, bishop b4, queen e6, knight c3. Oh, no, this one's hanging, sorry. So maybe I go knight takes b4 then. And you go queen e6, and I go bishop c3. Or even, yeah, maybe actually even a6 is hanging, isn't it? Clear, yeah. But maybe queen b7.
Yep.
I go bishop c3, maybe. Try and put my knight onto d5. I don't know. Knight 6, f4. I mean, it's really sharp. I mean, it's really, really, really unclear. I don't think you can say that the one side's better than the other. But black's gone knight f6 actually, which is also a very
knight f6. We weren't analysing that one yet.
No, we really probably should have done because it's quite a natural
We were doing all the crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what you do in commentary, isn't it? It's
all right. So bishop g5.
Bishop, sorry.
G5. Idea is if you take on d5, I'm gonna take on e7. King takes your going. Then I don't know. I just want to open up this center.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely a bit risky for black. It's a little bit loose. Yeah, I mean, what possibilities does No, I'm not playing. Yeah, that's the team. That's right. Mickey, Luke, Gawain, David, and Ravi. Haria. Yeah, I mean, you obviously don't want to go Queen D2. So ideas. I mean, Bishop D2, Knight takes D5 is rather annoying. C4 is not impossible.
C4.
Not 100% sure about that one. I mean, the idea is I want to go Bishop D2 now and just really grab your pawn. And if you go B takes C3, I want to take back with the queen, actually, was my idea. You know, if you were to go back, put it that way, I'd go Knight B4 into C6. That would be my my idea. But of course, what you can do is you can go Queen takes A4. When I was wondering about playing Bishop A7.
I was looking at Bishop A7 in the other line, yeah.
Because obviously Rook B7 allows Queen C8 check. Yeah. You could go castles. I mean, that would actually be, maybe that would be rather nice compensation, actually, come to think of it. Looks quite pleasant for black, really, doesn't it? I mean, this is all a bit ugly and ropey. Okay, yeah. I mean, there was also even Rook B5 was possible as well, which wasn't completely clear to me how we were.
Then we go Queen C6. Oh no, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at going Queen C8, Bishop here, Queen C6 to try and take the pawn on D6 and do something, but I suppose
we've got to watch out for B3. That's the thing.
Yeah, B3 is hanging now, so yeah, this is maybe not a very good idea. C4, unless we've got something, we can find something really nice. But somehow this Queen A4, it just seems to hold black's pieces somehow. I mean, it would be lovely if you could do something like this and then follow in with a Knight B4 and stuff. But I don't think it's going to work. It doesn't look good enough. So okay, so Knight F6. What else have we got? After it could be. I mean, F4 would be an idea as well. Similar idea to what you were doing. Or we can indeed do your idea and go
Bishop A7
and go Bishop G5.
Or Bishop G5, yeah. So Bishop G5 takes. Yeah, it's sort of what next, because it does take back with the. Okay. So if you take and then take back and then Knight Queen D2 is what I'm trying to say.
That is yeah, that's quite interesting, isn't it? We can go takes, and Queen D2 here, hitting these two.
Oh, really? Okay. All right, F4.
Right. Rook D8.
Well,
I suppose the one problem for white is that knight is on A2, and it's really not contributing a great deal to the situation.
Yeah.
No.
Well, still, you'd go Rook D1, right? Rook E1, Rook G E1, right? Wouldn't you? Oh, I see. You're going to go Knight F. You can't go Knight F4.
No, I'm not going to go Knight F4. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit fraught. I mean, I go something like Queen C5 maybe, Bring my queen into play. Not sure. I mean, it's definite compensation, right? I mean, that's definitely
tricky, yeah.
It's definitely tricky. I was just wondering actually whether we could go queen e4 in this position. So that might be an idea. So what I want to do is bishop g5. I want to go rook d5.
Couldn't you throw in knight c3 first, though?
Yeah, then I go queen c6 check.
Oh. Yeah.
And then check.
And then check. Okay, yeah.
Get your idea as you wanted it. So I'm guessing. I mean, I'm guessing.
Oh, Nisipina resigned. That's not surprising because he was queen for rook down, wasn't he?
Indeed, yeah. So rook takes d5, and then the idea was, if queen c7, I'm sort of hoping that knight b4 works. Maybe you have to have a quick check of that. But if you go queen b6, then I want to go rook takes c5 check.
Takes. Oh, sorry, bishop f6. No, you're in check. Sorry, I can't get bishop f6 to work because it doesn't.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is you could go king f8, and after rook g5, you've got queen g1 here, which would be rather a pain. But what I could do, I suppose, is just simply go after queen b6, go rook gd1. And yeah, I don't know. This is maybe quite decent compensation here. I could maybe even throw in a5 just to annoy you. And then do something like f4, something like this. Threatening f5. Not impossible. Compensation anyway, you know. And I mean, your line also looks very nice. I mean, bishop e7 and
bishop e7. Now, Mark's asking, what about knight takes?
Knight takes what?
So bishop takes e7, knight takes e7.
Yeah, I think Mark's right actually. I was going to say that actually, and then knight f5 probably, and then castles kingside. That might be better. Because again, you've got this problem of this knight on a2, which is rather.
It's just out of the game.
It's a bit out of the game, really. So yeah, you're right there, Mark. So, I mean, maybe something like takes and queen e4 is better, as long as I'm not missing any stupid tactics.
So has Mickey just repeated with queen d2 then?
Oh, good lord, he has. Mickey's just gone back.
Maybe he thought about all this stuff and didn't fancy it.
It's possible. I mean, he's probably maybe threatening bishop g5 now, you know, and so improving on your idea. And then the question is whether the opponent will go knight d7 or whether whether black will try and do something else.
Fascinating game. Shall we switch and see Luke? Although it is fascinating, this one.
a4 played. Oh, there we are. Knight d7. Rook a3. Ah, there we are. Rook a1. Okay, so white played very, very solidly here. Knight f8, queen e2, d4. Okay.
He's got a big line of pawns. This
takes knight g6. Yeah, this is pretty solid for black.
Hi, Paul Dargan. Why are you called Paul Dargan? That's really what I want to know. I know you better as B22 C3 Sicilian. Thank you. Thank you, Danny, for the raid.
But Paul Dargan is his alias. And he's
yes. Actually, it's probably not Paul Dargan at all. It's someone else pretending to be Paul Dargan.
Exactly. It's
Hi, Danny. Hi, Pekaram.
Hi. So yeah, I don't know. Luke's fine in this position. I mean, nothing horrific is going to happen yet. Got that weak pawn on a4, weak pawn on e4. So I think it's just very solid, really. You know, and Yeah, I mean, but I mean, it's a sort of position that that can sort of turn. White can miss a tactic, and all of a sudden he's got nothing, and his pawns are weak. Or black can miss a tactic, and all of a sudden white's coming with h4, h5, and and the attack is very dangerous. So it's quite it's a tense position, but in principle, I think it's quite even.
Yeah. Okay. So we could. So if Mick gets his draw, and if Luke has an even game, Gawain, if Wilsonia is to be believed, which he usually is, stands better.
Yeah. Let's look. So yeah, we were looking at this. I suggested bishop c6, and it happened. Queen d1, bishop e4, bishop c4. That's a nasty move. Hitting f7, king f8. Ooh, and it's Gawain to play.
Can you scroll just slightly? We're having our back rank cut off. Thank you.
There we are. So yes, this looks a little bit unpleasant for black. And the question is why why isn't
Can we take on f7?
Yeah, we certainly we've got various ways of doing it actually. So knight takes f7 is the most natural idea. Why wouldn't this work? That's a very good question. I can't really tell you. I can't.
Good to know.
I'm a little bit blank on this one. Why couldn't I do it? I mean, the thing is, there's also the an argument to be made for bishop f7, with the idea of rook e5 takes and bishop takes, because you'd be swapping off the rook for the rooks anyway, and then afterwards you'd have this pass pawn, and but okay, that's probably not quite as clear. I mean, you also conceivably have got this move, knight d7.
Okay.
With the idea of bringing the rook in. Because rook e7, I could have.
Bishop g7.
I've got bishop g7 there. King g7 takes, check, takes, and takes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which wins. So I think, to be honest, this is an embarrassment of riches, I think. For
yeah,
white.
So he's just working out the best way to win then.
Yeah. But I think this is a really clear, huge advantage for white, this one. So
excellent. Yeah. Gawain has hit mega form. That's nice.
Indeed. How's he? Because he's doing nice, isn't he? He's
yeah. He just won. He had
3.5 out of 5. Beat Jan Jelitier and Urkadal, and drew with Pachadze, Moroni, and Ashiku.
It was a nice game yesterday.
Yeah, no, I mean, when Gawain's in form, he can play great. He's
Hi, Federation.
He's got knight. He has got knight d7 check. So
okay,
he's going for the the optimal way of winning. I think is the idea. So the idea will probably be that if takes, I mean, bishop g6 feels like the most obvious there. And then I am guessing that we simply go rook c7.
Take on c7 and then...
and...
it's two... It's only one pawn.
Yeah, it's only one pawn. This bishop's quite passive, that's the thing. The only thing that I'm wondering about all of a sudden is... So say I go bishop b6.
Yeah. Okay, we better take on a8. Prevent anything.
Take on a8.
You're going to take on f2 at the end, aren't you?
Nah, it doesn't work at all. Yeah, I would just rook b7 or rook c6. It's all fine.
Yeah.
It's all fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. Yeah. No. So this looks. It's just a clear pawn. Just a clear pawn. So. Yeah, and this is. I think Gawain's taking the route to basically just to try and exchange off pieces. Try and reduce black's material. So yeah. I think this is very very good. So yeah, I think Gawain at the moment looks on the way to a win. That's excellent.
Yeah. And David already drew, didn't he? So
David already drew, of course.
it's
so
looking good. Looking good
looking
so
good.
far.
Looking good. Should we have a look at the women again?
Yes.
Have a look, see how.
And I also wanted to do a quick check of Wales and Scotland because I think they're playing
fantastic.
And Wales and Ireland even.
So white has got so Katarzyna's black against Lenka Ptaknikova. And yeah, white's got the old knights in there, and quite a nice control.
People are shouting for Farouja as well, so we'll do that as well when we do the roundup after the women.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it's looking a little bit tricky. I mean, white's going to play something like A4 and get those knights really cemented, and well, it's going to be tough for black to get much done. But on the other hand, I mean, yeah, what are you doing with all those pieces? It's not 100% clear either. So I think it's probably not as, you might sort of, your first impression might be, oh, my goodness, this is horrific.
Yeah, when you just look at it, it looks really good for white, doesn't it?
Yeah,
just
but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure about, I'm not 100% sure how, what white's actually doing with all that. So you never know. Maybe you can go G5 or something, and then just start getting some H-file play. It's just would that be possible?
Interesting.
Because I don't think I'm losing anything because if I go knight D5, I take with this knight, and I'm still covering C8.
Yeah.
So I mean that is actually good. And otherwise I just go G5, and I don't know, you go takes, and I'm just going to go King G7, Bishop G6, or King G7, Rook H8. Bishop F3. It could happen. It could turn very quickly, So I think as long as I'm not missing any enormous tactics, then yeah, not so clear that how good or bad this is. And I mean, there's ideas for white like knight A7, for example. You could try. But if I go Rook B8 here, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, if you start maneuvering to try and get your rook in,
the knights are going a bit offside, aren't they?
Yeah, I can come around to F5. Who knows? Who knows? It's. I think in a practical game, this is completely. This could still be a mess, but I do think that we need a bit of just a little bit of aggression from black here. Otherwise, not to allow white to consolidate some stuff. But yeah, not clear at all to me. I think maybe a move like G5 might be quite decent. Let's have a look. We've got Louise. Oh, A5 was played.
Okay.
My goodness, that's a move. That is a move.
Yes. Look at that knight on B6 and the pawn, the square on B5.
Yeah, lovely. So Bishop G3, which is a nice move, actually. Just getting out of the way of this. And white didn't even need to play Bishop E5 to force it because black played F6. So this is looking really good now. Rook B1, Knight D5, E4, Knight C7, Queen B6. Wow, look at this position. Super for white.
Go Louise, go Louise.
Indeed. So yeah, looking very promising for white this one. So
could
yeah,
she take on B7 though?
B7 was actually possible, probably. I'm not quite sure why he wouldn't, but I think Louise is actually just she's threatening Bishop C7 here.
Yeah.
And she just want to take on A5 and leave this one for as a future snack.
Yep.
Which I think is quite a good choice really. So looking good. This is more like Louise played in the British Championships,
yes.
quite powerful games with 1d4. So looking good.
Right, where we left, she was looking like she could take this A pawn in due course.
B6. Oh, A takes B6. Wow. Rook takes A4. Munch.
Oh my goodness.
He takes A7. Queen E8. Queen B3. Rook A7. She is just the exchange up.
Come on, show Ray.
H5 and then Knight G4. Yeah, that's a good idea, I think, to put the knight on that square. Yeah, looking great. Looking super for Choré. So yeah, and good time situation as well. So yeah, positive, really positive all round. And finally, on bottom board there, we've got Zoe, who was we left wildly hacking. And we had some ideas for black, maybe some knight a4s and stuff like that. But yeah, this is looking really good now. I mean, rook g1 feels very nice. We could even follow up with rook dg2 afterwards. Yeah, we're looking very good here. I mean, we could even throw in a little a3 at some stage just to get control of d5. So yeah, it's looking very, very good for white here. So fingers crossed, we could have a very nice result here, I think. So just fingers crossed, keep it all together, everyone, and yeah, we'll get a lovely result there. Let's have a look. Who else did we want to have a look at?
Should we try Firouzja?
Firouzja. Let's have a look. Just scroll a bit. Where am I? Oh, 3 draws in the game.
3 draws. So this is the key game for France.
There we are. Up. So king h8. Knight d2, bishop b5. So yeah, Jabava went for his break, but yeah, Firouzja is basically has got his bishop on b5, knight on b4, queen on c3. Interesting. c1. Oh, bishop c2 from Jabava. That's a nice one. But yeah, it's a yeah, it's a tad risky, all this. So how are we going to do this? So yeah, I mean, bishop c2 blocks the rook on c1. So from that point of view, black's sort of safe. But do you really? It's not really clear what threat black has at the moment. No huge threat. The question is, how are we going to? There's all black's going to be pinned with this bishop on c2, but there's always knight takes a2 at times, just to chase away the white rook from c1. So you'd have thought that normally it would be possible for black to absorb this pin on the bishop on c2 and then get rid of the pin with knight a2. So I mean,
if you go knight a2, so it's what queen takes, rook takes, and say we move our knight. We're going to try and go knight b1, knight a3, or does that help anything? Then knight there. Then we've got yeah, but
it's not really
not enough, not exciting.
No, I think, to be honest, I'd be more looking to keep the queens on, and maybe just switch to this.
Oh, what, on g5 or
something like that, yeah, and just claim, yeah.
That's a good idea. Just attack him.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the best way of doing it is, but I mean, presumably queen d8, just to.
Then we can switch the rook back as well, like rook g1.
Yeah, I mean, we can do this. We can go, sort of, but yeah, the bishop will move. I'm sort of wondering about, h4 maybe. Well, I mean, you've even got stuff like g5, because queen takes g5. There's bishop d7. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about something like this simply, and I'm going to follow up with knight f3 takes g5. It just feels so dangerous for black. This, I think, you've managed to control the c file, but so I think, I don't think you can exploit it. Although I might be wrong, but I don't think you can just exploit it just like that. But I think then you just switch back to the other side, break open the king side, and then get ready to go knight f3 takes g5. I mean, something like that looks huge. I mean, I'm also just threatening bishop takes d7 and then queen g5.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
I think it's really.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I love these things where you sort of play over the whole board, switch from side to side, and it's looking a little bit like that, really. So
Right. Should we quickly check in on Ireland and
my
Wales?
goodness. I mean, how many really high quality games is he going to play, Ali Reza? It's getting ridiculous.
He's amazing, huh?
It's really, less is more, young man. It's just, so many of his games have just been really, really good. Like you just, I don't think I've ever seen that sort of level. It's like Magnus in his in his prime. Really, it's so impressive. That's the Italian flag. Sorry about that. Almost. Should we have a quick look at Scotland?
Yeah. Let's see Scotland.
So Alan Tate on board 1 against. This is a bit of a sharpie. I mean, Black's bishops, minor pieces in general, are really not looking very, very healthy there. So you would have thought actually that White would be kind of interested in opening up the queen side, and then just invading on the queen side, and just leaving all these pieces.
Maybe yes.
Very, very passive. I don't think you want to go f4 because it opens up the bishop.
No.
I mean, it could be dangerous for Black too, but I think just leave this lovely strong structure and just try and play c3 or c4 at some stage would be great. I think so. I like White. I think White's got a very nice position there.
Nice.
Okay, so knight e4. Oh God, look, there's a g pawn link, which is quite important. Now knight e4 has been played. And I'm guessing that the idea is to meet knight takes 4 with
queen e6.
Well, it's not going to be queen e6 because we've got knight f6 check then. And queen f6, queen takes e8 will win. So I'm guessing that after knight e4, because you can't go d because I go d5. That's just too horrific. Yeah. So I'm going to go rook takes e6.
And then, so how is this?
Well, I mean, I think you're gonna end up a pawn down, aren't you? Somehow.
It's got to be knight f6 again, right?
I mean, knight f6 is possible. I mean, I could even go queen f3. I think, and just.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So this is looking a bit difficult for Black. This one, I think.
Yeah.
So then we've got
Graham Morrison.
Graham Morrison. Oh, he played a great game against me in the 4.
Yeah, he's having a good tournament as well, I think.
He's what's he done? He beat Sonny Berg Hansen. My goodness. Then drew with he's having a good tournament there. He played the most spectacular game against me, and I
remember it was a draw, wasn't it? In the end?
I won it.
You did.
But he made a misstep right at the end after a glorious, should have just been a draw. Glorious tactical fight. But I just tricked him with an unexpected long check at the end. But very tight game. Nice position for White, actually. Nice control from White. Nice position. So Scotland doing quite nicely here. And then let's have a look at Freddie. Rook d1, rook dc8, a4, bishop f7, rook c3, h4, f5, f5.
Oh, this is from Freddie.
I don't think he should have allowed bishop g7. That doesn't feel right.
He can swap queens though, can't he? So
yeah. Oh, he didn't. Oh, he did. Bishop e2. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame to have allowed that bishop to get active again, isn't it? But f8, bishop a3, rook c3. Not easy for White. Rook check, knight d5. Oh, good lord.
Oh, check. Oh. What happens here? You have to take. Yes, take that.
You're gonna take it. Bishop b6, bishop e4. What's this? Oh God, b3's going. Oh my goodness me! Well, I would think that Freddie's gonna draw this one at the very least.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to be a pawn up, isn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can.
Oh no. Is he?
I mean, I guess rook d4 is happening.
Yeah,
that's what I'm expecting.
Okay, so Black can take the b pawn, White can take the a pawn, and Black can take the g pawn.
Yeah, and the question is a little bit, which order do you want to do it in? I could go rook g2 takes g3 and then take on b3, or I could go rook c3 check. Takes b3 and then take on g2. That feels a little bit less good, really. Let's do takes jick and takes there. Yeah.
Okay, so Freddie's a pawn up in this, but White has connected pass pawns.
Yeah, but they're not going to be very easy to advance these. I think black's certainly not worse anyway. I mean, I think depends. I mean, maybe if white just swaps off rooks, it's going to end up as a draw or something. That's possible.
Okay. Yeah.
But great defense, because it's been a pretty ropey position there. So Scotland's got decent chances of
yeah. Come on, Scotland.
Come on, Scotland. Let's have a look at Ireland then.
And Ireland is playing Wales, I think, on bottom board.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
I'm remembering it right. I'm remembering it right.
So, we've got a few familiar names here. Gregor Taran Kenyamarala against Gregor Točić. Oh, this is very nice for white. Look at that. Pawn up, open king. Black suffering here.
Yeah.
So
I think Taran's been having quite a good tournament as well, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, solid tournament there. Drawing with 25.95, 25.48, losing to 25.25, but beating 22.04, drawing 20. Yeah, excellent tournament. Yeah, excellent. So and looking good for a win here in this game. Then we've got Alan Pleasant against Stephen Jessel. Well, look at that pawn structure. Quite nice for black, really. So going to be a tough one to convert or make something of it, because obviously the pawn chains are quite locked. But yeah, pleasant position for black there. Zelan Nemeth against Jason Garcia. Well, looking well, feels like it's very good for white here. I mean, I think we can go simply d7 and queen e6, and we're really in complete control there. So yeah, I mean, white looking excellent in this position. b4, another interesting idea maybe, but I suppose maybe if we go d7, queen c7, queen e6, there's maybe bishop d4. That's maybe the one that might cause some a pleasant against pleasant, indeed. So that might be the one that. Okay, so we have to be a little bit more careful here. All
right, Doppler.
Kind of feel like going knight takes, well, rook d3 maybe. Rook d3. Some queen f5. It's not 100% clear. Should be very good for white, but yeah, going to need a little bit of calculation here to get past those to get past that black counterplay. b4, bishop d4. Not clear. Okay, not as clear as I said there, but still looking promising for white. White's the one doing all the pushing. And then John Weatherlake lost to Trisha Kenyamarala. Yeah, that looks quite convincing here. Bishop coming into d3, white king exposed here. So yeah, well played. So it looks like Ireland is one up in that match. In
good
general,
for Ireland. Yeah,
looking good for Ireland this match.
Okay, shall we check the open team again?
Yep, all the way up. Let's have a look at the results. Ukraine, Russia is 1-1 so far. Netherlands, Azerbaijan, 50-50. France, Georgia, 1.5. But we sort of expect Fallujah to win that. Just have a quick check in. What did you do?
Check it again.
Queen g3, queen d8, bishop d7. Oh well. There we are. He did
G5. It happened.
He did basically what we said. Excellent. Looking very, very good for white, I think.
Yeah.
What a tournament he's having. Let's go. Oh, yeah, do the one. Let's have a little look at the match here. Whoa, what's been happening here?
Oh, what's happened? Was that our analysis, or is that real?
I'm not sure. Queen D2, Bishop D8, Rook E1 castles, King B1, Knight D7, G4, in we go. Takes, Knight C5, Knight takes A4.
Oh, it is real. Okay. So if takes, is it takes? I was going to say takes B3, but I don't know. Takes B3. If queen takes, you take on A2 and then to recapture the queen.
Yeah, but it's not very clear. So first of all, I mean, does white have any? Yeah, okay. Let's just have a look at BA. I think that's the most natural. So B3. So what happens if I go C takes B3? That's the most obvious line.
All right, we better check rook takes B3.
Yeah, because queen A4, I've got knight C1, so that would be quite fine. So rook B3, and now where am I going?
You got to come out, otherwise. Well, no, maybe not.
No, I mean king C2. There's queen A4. That would not be pleasant. So I think I've got to hide.
Got to hide. There's still the queen A4.
Okay, I think, yeah, let's go queen A4 then. I think that's the move that we have to play. And we're actually selling bishop A5 to C3.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little bit annoying.
So, what does white want to do? Try and swap off?
Surviving will be good enough for now.
Okay. I think we should move the queen off praise anyway.
Yeah. The annoying thing is that we haven't got any counterplay against the black king. We're not fast enough.
No.
And that's somewhat distressing. But okay, I'm going to go queen C2.
Yeah.
So, hey, Skittles attack. Thank you, bishop A5. And now we go rook E3.
Yes.
And we go rook B8. And I go rook B3. And you go rook B3, and I go rook B3. That looks fairly good.
Yeah, that looks right, doesn't it?
So okay, let's I think let's have a look. We got B3 is the move. C takes B3 is the move too. Rook takes B3 is the move. King A1 is the move, and then queen. Oh, El Gran Senor, you're right.
Oh, Danny, what?
It's that simple.
Oh, yes.
Curse you, Danger Mouse. That's really yes. That's Yeah. That's very annoying.
So what is that then? What if that all happens? That's 2 pieces for a rook.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we should do something maybe like rook E3, maybe. We take.
Oh,
and then we go
better than bishop F2.
And then we've got knight B4 coming in. We're not lost, but well, I don't know whether
it's tricky.
We're not hopeless, but it's quite Curse the loonies. Oh God, if it's that simple. Yeah, lovely spot, Danny. That's brilliant. Come on, Danny. You didn't need to say that. Oh, that's really, but that's really, oh dear me, that's really annoying.
So okay, so what is it? So takes. There's no other thing.
No, I think it's fairly linear. That's the problem. You know, there's not much. It's once you spot the idea is easy to miss. Well, that's
yeah. Well, there's lots of distracting things, aren't there? Lots of other.
Yeah. There's lots of other things that could happen, but that's just a simple, you know.
Yeah.
Should
well, you do have to take that. There's no choice. I wouldn't.
I mean, I suppose maybe. How bad is this? It's not. Yeah, so you've got F5 coming in. That's the annoying thing. Maybe is it not?
Yeah.
Is it completely horrific? Oh, it's not nice. You go Rook C8. You go F5. Oh. It's not nice. It's not nice. Might be survivable. Ah, dear me. Ah, there we are. Mr. B22C3 Sicilian. That's
Hello, B22C3. Is knight C3 an option? In which
I was wondering about this.
Yeah.
I would guess not really, but it's not actually 100% clear how it's going down. I was wondering about a couple of things. I was wondering about Queen B4, just to come in with Queen A3, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing about that.
Okay, so Queen B4.
It's quite tricky.
Yes.
Because I'm going Bishop A5 next as well. You know, and then coming in with Queen A3. I'm just slowly coming into you. You know, it's and I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm doing. What I'm doing about that. Mickey's gone Rook E3. Okay.
Hey.
That's not silly. You can always trust Mickey to find a good defensive move. So the cunning idea is that well, we're stopping Knight C3, and we've also got the idea of Rook H3 and Queen H6.
Ah. Yes.
So yeah, Bishop G5 is the is now crushing.
Oh no.
I didn't think it was.
Oh, we were just getting happy for a moment there, Danny.
I thought Bishop G5 might be.
It does look crushing, doesn't it?
Well, no, but por qué? B takes A4, okay. Which I think he's played, hasn't he? Mickey's played B takes A4. We don't have anything. We've got nothing stunning, have we? There's no B3 or anything. But I suppose, are we going Queen C1 now? Yeah. Knight C1, Rook C8. It's definitely on the unpleasant side. Yeah. No, it's definitely not pleasant.
So I'll go here.
Yeah, I suppose Knight C1 to try and stop B4 to B3. But I'm a bit, I don't know. I suppose you've got various things here, haven't you? I mean, you could just play. I mean, something like Rook C8, for example, and Knight B3, and then you just play the Queen somewhere, and then just go A5 to A4. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's quite unpleasant. It's quite unpleasant.
Looks unpleasant.
But okay, I mean, it's you know, with the engine helping you, obviously you feel confident. Practical game, Black, you know, facing Mickey Adams. You never know. And Mickey's the good thing is Mickey's got a, you know, next move is easy as well. Knight C1, and then it's you know, for Black really to decide how Black wants to do this. So, you know, maybe some chances there. it's I guess if you said you've got this position against Mickey, I'd say, oh, thank you, but I wouldn't be instantly thinking, oh well, time to relax now and settle into the win. It's still quite a way to go, but I think if you start looking at stuff like,
so what about B3? Oh, okay, yeah.
Rook C3. I mean, we got ideas like Bishop B3 and then Rook B3 check, which are really strong. Yeah, Rook C3, Chris. I mean, for example, not that this would be the best move, but here you could just take, and go Rook B5 here, and then Rook A5 check. So yeah, Black's taken with Queen A4. Oh, dear me. Dear me. This is okay. Well, Knight C1. Yeah, Mickey instantly correct practical decision. Just play the move quickly and then let White. But I think if Black goes Rook FC8, which is unfortunately the most natural move, I think Mickey's just essentially just lost.
Should we check the other games to see how it's all?
Yeah. Let's see how that's going.
It's all shaping up.
So Luke. So Luke was Rook E3. What have we got? Needs to solve the
conundrum. Countdown conundrum.
Yeah. This is fairly even, really. I mean, White's got a slight space advantage, but yeah, slightly split pawns. Likelihood is that the B pawn will get swapped off for the A pawn. So yeah, it's quite equal.
Zoe looking good.
Zoe was looking very good. Should we just have a quick look?
Yeah. Let's see it.
Whoa, yeah, that was powerful, wasn't it? She went. Okay, she went Rook G2, King H8, H5. In we go, lads.
So no, is she threatening? What's she threatening?
Well, Rook G1 would be a very nice start, I think. That would be excellent.
Yes.
I mean, Knight G5 would be gorgeous, but unfortunately, Black doesn't have to take it. So, because Knight G5, H H6 would be the idea, but
Knight H4, she's gone.
So Knight H4 is very strong, threatening Rook.
What's she saying? Rook H6 and Knight G6.
Yeah. So yeah, this is looking very good. What's the
brownie queen? Oh yes, I know what you mean. She makes brownies.
So yeah, this is going to be very strong. Bishop B8. Probably we just go Rook G1 then and threaten Rook H6. So yeah, lots of good. Looking very good. I mean, just looking like it's a very powerful position for White. Neither side's got much time though, and quite haven't made many moves. So as always, it's always going to be tense. But
should we check Louise while we're here?
Oh yeah, let's check Louise. Louise was doing really well, wasn't she? So Shorey is also looking.
Oh yes, Shorey was. Yes, yeah. No, this was looking
Shorey's looking excellent. So I think Shorey's going to win that. That's brilliant. And then Louise is looking very good as well. Oh, so she's sacked a piece.
Okay. Oh, is she going to take this bishop back now? If she wants.
Yeah, she's going to take the bishop back now. That should be very good. It's a little bit weird what she's done, but it's looking very, very good. So yeah, I think after HG, I mean, there's maybe something like Knight C5, some sort of little trick like that, but we take off. Okay, no, Knight C5, I'm saying. But we take off, Queen takes D3. Oh, and then we just go Rook D1, Rook D7. So no, I think Louise completely winning actually. Okay, so just HG and more or less end of the game really. So come on, Louise. Again, also quite short of time there, but well, fingers crossed that all works out well. And then on top board, how was Kata doing? Kata went Queen F5. I was looking for G5. Yeah, this is swapping off. You need to G5. We want to see. Oh, this could all turn around. I'm confident about this one. I think King G7, Rook H8 is going to happen, and then White's suddenly going to think, "Oh my God, what is happening there?" So yeah, I'm confident. I think we're fingers crossed. We're not going to jinx it, but it's looking quite positive.
Yeah.
So excellent. Back on this board. Let's look at Gawain, by the way, because Gawain was doing really well.
Yes. So is Luke's about level?
Luke's about level, yeah.
Yeah.
So knight d7 takes, bishop g6, rook c7. Yeah, and we've got, this is what we looked at basically. Okay, so we've got a technical ending here where Gawain's a pawn up. So
can you scroll down just slightly again?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Whack. Wee. So bishop d4, bishop d5. That looks like good technique. This bishop's excellent. Rook d7, f4. King's going to come in. This is looking just total control here for Gawain. So that's going to be a win very, very soon. So definitely 1 point for England from the very prolific Gawain at the moment. So that's looking good. We've had a draw from David. Luke's about equal, and obviously Mickey's unfortunately is in a fair amount of trouble here. Rook fc8, rook de1 played by Mickey.
All right, apparently Ukraine has just beaten Russia.
Wow. My goodness me. Yeah, Ukraine always punch above their weight or punch above their weight. They're super strong, but they do even better than you'd expect from them in these team competitions. Great stuff. Yeah, okay. So Mickey's sort of getting ready there. If after bishop e3 can take back with the rook and defend along the third rank.
Yeah.
Kirill beat Kirill.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good defense from Mickey. So he can after bishop e3 can take with a rook to e3 and then come around to h3. So he's keeping some hopes of counterplay, which is obviously always crucial. I mean, Mickey's a superb defender. I mean, if anyone can rescue this one, then he is your man. But yeah, rook c3. So I'm guessing that we're going to play knight b3 here. Otherwise, b4 to b3 might just turn out to be horrific at some stage. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing knight b3 now. And then presumably, yeah, I don't know whether whether Black's got something amazing, or whether after knight b3 you're just gonna withdraw the queen to b5, maybe something like that, and then just go for a5 to a4, something like that. So rook a3 is also a threat. That's a very nice idea, Smooth Baron. So yeah, I think knight b3 is going to be played. I would have thought. And then maybe, queen b5 is what I'm assuming there. To follow up with a5 to a4. Queen d1 you want to play, Chris? Ooh.
Oh, now what?
Possible. But I guess, I could take on e3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just getting some point where you sort of think, positionally, it's just looking horrific, really. Possible.
I think you take on e3 twice, don't you? Like take on e3, and if the rook takes, you take again.
Yeah, and then move the a5, move the a pawn up. Yeah, I don't know. Possible. I mean, there's some weak dark squares. There's some stuff like that. It's all it's not over yet, but it is pretty nasty for white, of course. Just really very unpleasant. I mean, you could even go
rook e3 again, rook a3 again after queen d1. Yes. Take.
Yeah, although could I just take that actually? Takes and go knight here maybe.
So maybe you do bishop takes e3 first, and then do that.
Yeah. Now Mickey's played knight b3. I think I can understand that move, not just not allowing the crazy stuff. But now that knight's in the way of a5 to a4, so yeah, sort of expect that that Mickey would the black will do something like that. Doesn't have to take immediately. Could go queen b5 first of all, and then just wait to see what how white tries to unpin.
Yeah, Danny's saying Dieck beat him at the Isle of Man.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. He's a good player. You see, you see his rating and board one for Romania. There's quite a bit of competition there, really. So some good GMs. So yeah, no, very dangerous player. But okay, he's still got to. He's played bishop e3, and Mickey has played rook e3, and now rook c8. Yeah, that's also pretty reasonable.
Oh, because you're threatening to take on c2.
Yeah, you're threatening rook c2, and maybe after rook c3, he's just going to take with the pawn, actually. He's hitting g4, and he's also got the idea of going queen a3. Just sort of means that white's never going to be able to, to get counterplay against the black king, because, yeah, you just always got to watch out for your own king. So, yeah.
Can you excuse me for just 1 minute? I just need to.
Certainly can. Okay, so this is really tough. We're going to see whether Mickey can pull something out of the fire for this one, but wow. Yeah, you're not sure. This one might turn. I've seen Luke do crazier things than win this position. So yeah, I was certainly not expecting him to lose, and I think he's definitely got tricky chances, I would have thought. But Lupulescu is a very solid GM, so yeah, you can't expect it. But yeah, I'd always think with Luke that Luke will get a draw at the very least, and maybe have a chance of tricking his opponent, from time to time. Gawain, well, this is looking very good. He's just going to be, a massive exchange up. Comp says white clearly better. My goodness me. You just can't trust anyone nowadays, can you? Really? I sort of thought that, wow. Yeah, surprises me, I have to say. Bishop e3, knight e6. I think black just looks very solid, and yeah, okay. Yeah, but fair enough. I mean, I definitely believe the pressure on b7. I definitely believe the computer. But yeah, no, somehow this feels like a typical sort of solid position, and yeah, something that where white could overpress. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll have a look. I would expect Luke to get a draw here. I definitely think Gawain's gonna win this. Yeah, and this one's a draw from David. Let's have a quick look at the women. Let's hopefully see some interesting stuff here. So Katarzyna Toma, this is looking quite messy.
Oh, she was going to put her king up and go down the H file, but she swapped off. Or white swapped off.
So knight d4, but this is all very complicated now. Queen h3, I'm not 100% sure about, but queen g6 feels nicer as played. And now white's got to decide how am I going to defend all my stuff. I've got knight h5s coming in. I've got this is chaos. This is going to be fine. This is going to go well. Absolutely sure about that one. Louise, come on, Louise. Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, she didn't recapture immediately.
Why wouldn't you take on g4? Bishop c4. Okay. e7. Oh, my goodness. My goodness, it's all chaos. It's all chaos.
Oh, bishop h6. Bishop f4. Forking the bishop on h6 and the c1 square.
Indeed, that's a good resource. Only I'm a little bit worried.
About rook f7.
Indeed.
Yes.
So
can't we just take it all and then take on h6 at the end?
I'll go bishop f4 in between. That's the problem. I mean, if you go rook f7, I go bishop f4. And the problem is I'm going c1 queen, and then there'll be mate on. It'll be mate on the back rank, and I'm also covering c7 as well. Oh, rook b8 is even stronger, Danny. Oh my goodness me! So he won!
Hooray! Let's see
it. Let's have a look. Let's see it. Knight h4, bishop e8. No messing around. Rook h6 straight away. Whack, 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 whack. Mate. There we are. Well done, Zoe.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Well, brilliant. Brilliant. Fantastic. So win for England there. Brilliant. Now.
Yes. And what about Sherry? Was looking good, wasn't she?
Sherry's still looking good. A little bit short on time there, but yeah, what is she? Exchange and a pawn up. So yeah, pretty confident that this is going to be a win for Black, as long as she makes the last move. H5 is perfectly fine.
Oh gosh! Oh no, she won't run out of time. No, she won't.
No.
She's an experienced player and arbiter. She knows all about this stuff.
These are also, yeah, these are never reliable. These clocks. I mean, they often run out, and yeah. I'm sure it's all going to be fine. Okay, so that's looking good. But Louise, what's happened with Louise?
Yes,
D5 happened. Ooh.
Now, so what?
Okay.
So what? Take on there, yes.
Rook h6 played, threatening queen h7. Ooh.
This looks good then. So, okay. What about rook?
Yes, it's all sort of a little bit random. Rook f7 now
is played.
But I mean, at least we get the chance to put something on c1, you know, and
well, do we? Because we have to move the queen. Oh, we can just go like drop the queen back to b2 or something.
Even, yeah, or queen b3, for example, or whatever. You know, I mean, it's. I'm not quite sure how you should do it, but yeah, this is way better than what you had before. So
yes, that's good.
I mean, I think queen b3, gf, rook c1 would be my sort of blitz reaction. I'm threatening rook c2, and I'm also threatening rook takes f6 as well. So, you know, that's,
yeah, this looks good.
But the nerves must be jangling, of course. But okay, looking good. So Zoe,
how many moves? That's move 33. So she's done queen b3. That's good.
That's good. Nice and solid. Queen a6 best.
Oh.
Yeah. Good enough. This one's good enough. So okay.
No one would play that. No, it wouldn't even.
Rook c1 now. Rook c1 is the move we want. And if queen e4, we're going rook f6. That's the basic idea. And then I suppose, are we going queen c4 here? Takes king f1 to e2.
Oh, queen b3 with blunder allowing king g7! Exclam.
What? Oh God! Yeah, that was indeed yes. My goodness me. Okay, rook c1 played. It's still going to be very tight, this one, but okay. I think Louise is back on top here anyway, and I think the risk of losing is decreased enormously. Now let's have a look at Katarzyna. What's happened? Knight d4, queen g6, king g2. Wasn't knight h5 very dangerous here?
Maybe it still is.
Well, she got knight f5, takes. But I mean, black is definitely not worse here. So, yeah, indeed. Why don't we have them during the game?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Danny, I'm so strong if I've got an engine as well.
But this is, this is not bad for black at all. Actually, I think black's bet must be better here, surely. Well, I don't know. I'm getting overexcited, I think. But black's all right. I mean, we're going to go king g7, rook h8, and have some big threats here. So, yeah, white's a bit shorter on time. Come on, we could have a big win here. We could have a really, really big win if everything goes our way and nothing goes wrong whatsoever. So, that's
so we already won on Zoe's board. We've got Shore with a good advantage.
Exactly.
Louise is looking fine.
Yeah.
And we've got here.
And Katarzyna's, I don't know, the flow of the game is her way, put it that way. So let's but Black's now got to find a good defense here, and not 100% easy. I mean, obviously, always, you've got this risk of these rook endings coming up, that aren't clear. But now I'm wondering, I suppose, something like Queen C6. No, she's played Queen E4, which is obvious, and Louise has gone Rook F6. So I'm expecting Queen C4 now from Black, and then we can just swap off.
That?
Wow, we swap off, and then we go King F1 to E2 to D2. We're better. I mean, we're always better. I mean, irrespective of what the actual evaluation of that is, we're always better.
Yeah.
So that's Rook C4 played. Wowza, loonies.
Oh no, so how's that?
That is quite risky, but that's maybe not a bad move, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a bad move.
Queen B8.
Yeah, I mean, the big point about it is, of course, though, is that this is all very risky. So, wow, it's a sharp one, this one. Got to watch out a little bit, because there's also going to be some threats against our king with Rook G7. We're not taking off. I'm not sure about taking off. I thought we should have kept our rooks, to be honest. Got something like Queen B8 and then Rook somewhere, and just use our threats. This might be... Well, we're not going to be better here. Rook C4 was a very good move from the Icelandic girl, has to be said. That's... No, white certainly isn't better here, I think. But I think the king's so open. I think this is should probably be a draw, this one. Just need to make sure that you can answer something like Rook A4 with taking on C2 somehow. So yeah, I think Queen B8 and then Rook somewhere was probably, just it just felt like because the king goes to G7 and then you go, I don't know, Rook here maybe, or maybe Rook A6. I don't know. Just threatening Rook A8. It just feels like you're going to get some threats somehow, somewhere. But yeah, obviously no. I've got no idea about the proper follow up somehow. King F1.
Yeah. She wants to keep the rook pinned. I was looking at that as well.
It's just that's really risky. That is. Because you're bringing the king within,
and also is there like F3?
Well, it's just all the tactics. I don't know. I mean, stuff like Queen D5 or something. And that king's a bit closer to the tactics. I'd rather have the king away, to be honest, and use my queen to check. But okay, I mean, it's very tricky. You just got to make decisions, and we'll see. Shore, Bishop A3 played. Oh, that's very solid. We're going Bishop D6 after. Should all be good. Going to be a little bit of a conversion effort, but should all be good. And Katarzyna, Katarzyna's going for Rook H8.
She's done it.
She's going to win this. She's going to win this.
It's going to be nice. Very nice. Very nice. Kata.
Yeah. She's going to win this. It's just it's going to be too complicated for White to deal with with no time. So yeah, looking excellent. Oh, this could be very good. And obviously, it takes a bit of the pressure off Louise as well if we're getting wins on the other boards. So excellent. Okay, then Shore is looking really good, and then Louise is probably. I think we're probably saying a draw would be a good result. I think for that one. So okay, and then well done that's Shore, and then well done Zoe for a great final mate attack.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just have a quick look then at the open board. Gawain has won. Well played, Gawain.
Well done, Gawain.
Great stuff. We've got Luke. Luke is tight at the back.
Oh, yes.
Actually, Danny said that the engine thought that white was clearly better. And well, now this is looking
Luke's
a bit better.
Cramped as he with
Luke
the knight.
Luke is a bit cramped there. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's. I've got faith in Luke. I think he's gonna manage it. That knight on d8 is a monster. It's a real rock.
Is it? Is it defending b7? I suppose.
Well, I'm trying to talk it up, Natasha.
You know, I was going to say what. We probably all believe you.
Work with me, please. I mean, I'm trying to talk up Luke's position here, so it's yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I think maybe I was probably not. I probably didn't get the position right. Looking a little bit more unpleasant.
Freddie now winning ? Says John Saunders.
Let's have a look at Freddie, the mate.
Frederick the mate.
Dun, 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 dun.
Would you want to play Freddie, or would you be scared?
You're not scared, but I mean, saying that it would be a pleasure and a walk in the park is not the same thing, of course. So, I don't know. How is this position? Whose move is it? It's
White's move. The rook's just moved.
There. Okay. What are we saying here? He's gone King C6. This is like incredibly sharp. This, if we go, because White's got two choices. You can go B7, Bishop B6, or we can go B7 and King C7. I think there could be some problems here for Freddie.
Yes.
Because if I go I can go E3 here and E2, because then you can't go Bishop B6.
Yeah.
But then I just go King C7. And then I'm just going to Queen. And because you've already put your pawn on a light square, you're not going to get through. So I would assume that would just be winning for White. And then if you go D4 here and E3, then I go Bishop B6 simply.
And D4 and D3 is just the same as before, I guess.
Yeah. D4, Bishop D3, I just go Bishop B6 again. It's just you can't, in order to stop this plan of Bishop B6, you need to do that, and then you come here, and then I don't. Now the only thing
Chris is saying E3 B7 King F7.
E3 B7 King F7. You're saying. So I go King C7. Oh, that's very clever. That's very clever, because the idea is if Bishop B6, I go E2, and I'm going to be winning some tempi there, at the very least. And I could even take off and go E2, presumably as well. Although I'm not quite sure what that would be. Okay, so King F7, and if you go King C7, then threatening B8. Then I go D4. And if you go B8...
This is improving on your line.
I go D3.
Yeah, this looks good.
So... Freddie has gone D4. B7. But yeah, if he goes... wait a minute, was that...
That line was after E.
That's wrong. That's not working. That's not working now.
Yeah,
that's not working now. Unless, okay, I'll go E3. You will go Bishop B6. I will go King F7, or I will go E2.
Yes.
You will go B8 Queen, and I will go King F7.
Yes. Queen e5.
And I will go rook e3.
Oh.
And you will go queen d5. Oh, no. Oh, curses.
What?
I want to go rook e6. Check.
Bishop, check.
But then you take and you go bishop a5.
King f5.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is not... This
Maybe
is
too slow.
I'm assuming you're too slow. B7 has gone d3. But Freddie, what's happening after bishop b6 there?
d2.
Oh, it's the same idea. It's the same idea. Ha ha ha. Oh, Freddie. Queen d8, rook d3. Look at that.
Oh. Why is Chris saying bishop d2 wins?
Well, he's probably right in some way. d3. So bishop d2 is the move. Okay. Probably going a5, a6 then. But I think that must be Freddie's idea. Bishop b6, d2. Oh, fingers crossed now. This is a big moment. So you never want an opponent to blunder or anything like that. But for Scotland's sake, anyway, Scottish fans.
Bishop d2. Oh, I was going to say king d8, but you can just repeat. Well, you don't want to repeat. Oh, you just go a5. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether we can do... Nah, I think you're too far behind there. So, yeah, I mean, white needs a good move here. White needs to find a good move, but I think bishop d2...
Right, bishop d2 is white's good move.
Oh, dear me. But not much time for white. Although I don't know whether maybe he's got an increment after, so or some extra time.
So what if you go rook b2?
Yeah, we just go a5, I think.
Oh.
That's the problem.
That is a problem. So rook c2 check.
Yeah. King here, I'm guessing. I could even go to b5, actually. But maybe it would be less good.
Yeah.
And rook b2, I go a6, and then... he's gone bishop d2. Freddie.
He's done it, has he?
Yeah, bishop d2. Okay. That's hard luck, Freddie. As always, very entertaining games. How's Farouja doing? Oh, he's teeing up a bit, but he hasn't won yet. Isn't knight
h5 and knight f6, couldn't he?
Well, we've got queen. I think he's just going to do this, isn't he? Check and then king there. Which is not clearly mate. Interesting. I mean, Jababa's very tricky. So... I mean, this looked completely winning, but it may not be. I suppose the only thing... No, I don't know. This is really tricky. I don't think this is winning for white. Interesting. All right, that's Farouja. Let's have a look at our own players.
Yep.
Oh, Mickey's lost.
Oh, Mickey.
He resigned after b takes c3, did he? Oh, no, knight e1. He played... Oh, good Lord, Mickey. Rook c5, queen c1. Oh, Mickey. Takes 8.
Oh, dear. Yes.
Yeah, well played, Black. I mean, great game. Hard luck, Mickey. Yeah, that's a shame. So it's poised at 1.5 each. And then Luke now. We didn't want to see.
That must be his first game as a senior.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Oh dear.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it, Natasha, but
Downhill all the way for all of us.
it's this is actually quite awkward for Luke. F5, we're just going to go E6, unfortunately. Because Queen E6, there's Rook D8 check.
Oh, yes.
And if you go Knight E6, then, well, I suppose even something like Bishop C3, and then you just sort of carry on and you just claim you've got massive compensation. Well, Luke's a great defender, so, I think if anyone can save it, he can, but it's going to be a bit tricky, this one. Looking quite difficult, this. And in general terms, yeah, it's pretty clear that White's not going to lose this now. It's only White that's got chances. So, okay, have a little look, see what's happened. Zoe, always a pleasure to see that position. Shure, also a pleasure to see this position. That's very solid from Shure. Bishop back to D6, yeah. And then I think then afterwards we're going to start hitting some weak points, and I'm sure Shure will make that.
Louise, how's this going?
Maybe they'll make a draw simply. How about that? Queen C6.
Queen C6.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be amazed if Black could win this. I mean, that would be very. It
wouldn't be fair, really. I think Queen beat D3. Louise has got her H pawn, hasn't she?
Yeah, but I don't think she should start moving it. Yeah, that would be a bit weakening, I think. Probably just focus on giving checks. Queen B5 would be possible too, I think. I think, Queen B5, for example, would be... Queen H6, Rook G4 wins, does it, Chris Bate? Oh, wow. I saw it, but I didn't think it won. Wow, okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be a draw. I think you just focus on swapping off the queens, and then that should be fine. That should be fine. And a bit of a shame because obviously Louise was completely winning and got herself into a great position. But okay, that's how it goes. And Katarzyna will win this.
Yeah, look at this. This looks nice.
Yeah, Knight H5 coming in. Yeah, excellent chances in any case, and very good chances. So brilliant, fantastic.
We should win this match.
I think we're looking like you'd expect us to win this match with the positions we've got at the moment. That should definitely work.
And what about the open match? So we've won one, drawn one, lost one, and it's all on Luke.
And we need Luke. Yeah, Luke's played F5, and I think Lupulescu will go E6 now. Knight E6 and Bishop C3, and you're attacking F5 and B7. I think that's going to be the.
What happened to his monster knight? It's moved.
It's gone to E6. I mean, that's what monsters do. They don't stay in the same place. They move and cause chaos elsewhere. So no, it's a tough position for Luke, but yeah, I think
yeah, but Luke doesn't mind kind of what the position is like, does he? It's sort of
although actually, I'm just thinking, if Knight takes E6, do we have sorry, Knight takes E6? Is there Queen E3 here actually?
What are you thinking? Oh, that.
I'm thinking Queen H6, and then I want to line up with my rooks on. Maybe it's not. That's not so clear. Not so clear, I think. Maybe I can throw an F4 then. No, I think Bishop C3 will be the move, and then have Queen B7. I mean, it's much nicer for White, but yeah, not clear yet. And Luke's a very good defender, so fingers crossed on that one. Okay. What else do we have? Let's have a look. Actually, we'd never really looked at Farouja.
How's this going?
Okay, so Shevchenko beat Alexenko. Okay, 2 draws on the first 2 boards there. Spain 2-2 with Armenia. Very solid.
That was a boring match. They all drew.
Indeed. So Firouzja thinking at the moment, and Chris says that knight here, queen h6, rook g4 wins. That's a very good way of doing it, actually. I was thinking of giving a check first, but this is cleverer. So he's saying that after knight h5, you need to go queen h8. But yeah, this bishop is fantastic. Really supporting the pawn on c2 there. So yeah, not going to be easy to not going to be easy to win this or anything. I don't think it's winning. I don't think it's winning at all. So
if it's not winning, does that make it losing?
No. It's not losing either. But could be that Jabava's escaping. Although obviously still plenty of dangers, but still, it doesn't look like there's a forced win or anything there.
Oh, I suppose you can repeat here, can you? Knight f6.
You could repeat.
So you can draw.
But black could avoid it if he wants to. So
King f8. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's got knight h5. We'll go queen h8. I'm expecting something like maybe queen here or something, and then get the knight into g5 or h4. Or it doesn't look like it doesn't feel like it's winning, to be honest. So okay. Let's have a little look further. Go down to Scotland. Oh, just have a quick check to see how Ireland, Wales still going actually. So okay, we're still a pawn up, targeting this b6 pawn. The only question here is no. Rook takes h3 looks vaguely tempting, but it doesn't look sufficient. So feels like black's position is about to start collapsing now with this pawn on b6 targeted. So yeah, looking like like white's going to continue the good run. Alan Pleasant against Stephen Jessel. Well, this is a little bit.
Katarzyna won. Thank you, Sketos.
2-0.
Very good.
Well
very good.
Played, Katarzyna. Excellent. Looked a bit ropey in the beginning, but toughed it out and came through. Brilliant. So this looks like it's going to end in a draw, I think, because I can't imagine that black's going to be able to do much with this. And let's get the queens off. And then a3 is weak. Maybe. Could be a very, very long game then. So what happened here? Rook d3 was played. Bishop e4, a4, f3, takes. Oh, okay. So e3, queen e5. So, oh, okay. 2 pawns. Oh, that's very nice. Rook b3. Queen h5. Ooh, tactics. What's happening here? So obviously rook b3, we've got queen a2. So if we go back to g8 here, how about it? Well, I guess maybe we're going to go rook to d7, maybe? Threatening queen f7. Unpleasant. Probably lost, actually. I mean, you could throw in a rook b2. I go king h3.
Yeah.
And I've got to cover somehow. Queen f8. Queen d5 check. You've got king h7, but this is horrible. This is going to be losing somehow. It's maybe queen check and queen d3, something like this. You're not going to be able to defend your king, I think. So okay, that looks like white is going to win that. It looked quite good, and then black won there. So we're expecting a reasonably convincing win for Ireland there on the bottom board. And let's have a look how it's gone with Scotland. So,
yeah.
Is that an extra piece for black? It looks like.
Yeah.
Only. Wait a minute.
Unless you've got a bishop f6 and queen.
Yeah.
H6.
What's happening here? Oh, we've got rook d1. That's the point. That just wins. Or does it? Yes, it does. Queen c4. So yeah. So I'm afraid queen h6, rook g4. Which game will Sonia?
Queen. This game? No.
Is it ours? In ours? Oh God! Oh yeah, you're talking about Fallujah.
All right.
Ooh, you're talking about Fallujah. I thought you'd be only looking at our boys and girls. However, knight h5, queen h6, and rook g4 now. So apparently,
okay. Oh, so is this just winning then? So why is this winning?
Well, that's obvious. We don't need to explain that at all. I'm not completely sure, to be honest. So, well, I mean, the threat is to go knight f6 check, king takes, and rook h4 check, and pick up the rook on c8 at the end. I just wondered about king f8 in this position. What the idea was there.
Yeah.
It could well be that we're just going to go queen f6. Is that going to be the idea?
Queen takes. Oh, and then rook h4.
Mais oui, madame.
Yeah, that's it.
Have to talk with a French accent now because Ali Razor's playing for France. It is how you say. Well, I'm French. I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah.
So yes, no, rook g4. Yeah, looking very strong then. Yeah, this is actually really strong because you've got either knight f4 or rook h4 coming in simply. Wow. Easy to miss, really, that you don't give the check, and that sort of gives black a lot more difficulties in terms of defending. I mean, I suppose what you might think of is to play a move like rook d8, just to try and get your rook on a defended square.
Oh yeah.
Because if you go here, takes, choppy, 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 then the rook's defended. That's so presumably you must have something clever after rook d8.
Yeah.
It could well be queen f6 again, actually.
So queen f6, threatening.
Or it could be just knight f6 and queen g3, threatening rook h4.
Yeah, that looks good.
That could also be dangerous as well. I'm having also a rather nice idea of going takes knight g5. I'm not sure. The idea was this one, check here and king g3 to go f4, but it's maybe a little bit fanciful.
Or you can just open f7 and fork.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean it's very dangerous. I'm not quite sure about what happens after rook d8, but I'm sure Ali Reza will instruct us. Queen f6 could be very strong as well. The same idea. Like I'm coming here. So yeah, and then maybe we're just threatening knight g5 coming in, and yeah, I mean, looks very dangerous. Looks very, very dangerous indeed. Wow, so Ali Reza might just make it after all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been on top all the game, so I mean, that is fair enough. But let's have a look. What have we got? We've got Katarzyna 0-1, excellent. We've got Louise still carrying on, but that's going to be a draw. I'm pretty sure that's going to end us a draw. And Shorey has just got to avoid knight g5 check.
Uh-oh, she will.
And yeah, I mean, this is always going to be, should be a win. So, yeah. And this was a lovely win as well. So I think the English women are pretty much very good to go, basically.
Yes, they just need one draw out of the last 2 games.
Exactly. And obviously the Open team, yeah, we're waiting for, hoping for Luke to show his...
on Luke, and then maybe we finish for the day.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's have a look. We are... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there we are. That's it.
F5. Oh, okay, so why it's thinking here. Strange. That is very odd to be thinking about that move. You're not going to do anything else, are you?
Other than e6. Oh, he has done something else. Bishop c3.
Okay. He's trying to make it even stronger. Because I guess the point of knight e6 is that... oops, terribly sorry. Knight e6 is that b7 hangs. So I guess that what he's trying to do, he's trying to get an e6, and not have the knight hitting the bishop on c3. Maybe. I mean, I could go rook a6 in this position. And then after e6, I go queen takes e6.
Yeah, and you haven't got the trick anymore.
No, rook e1 could be unpleasant. We go knight e6, which has kind of my personal preference. But that is a rather annoying passed a pawn. I don't know whether you could just swap off rooks and then try and... Well, pawn's fast, though. Yeah, maybe bishop c3 is a good move, actually. Yeah. Going to be a tough one for Luke, but seen him hold worse than this. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. And a draw would draw us the match.
A draw draws the match, yeah. You know, it's very crucial, of course, because obviously a loss would, that would be rather a pity. It's because I mean, you know, the first 4, 5, 6 rounds don't really matter that much. You've just got to be somewhere in the ballpark, and then it's all about a big finish always. You know,
B2, Paul's saying hasn't Luke lost already?
I don't think so.
No, he's still going. We think.
Yeah, that's the position we've got on the board. It's unless we're behind.
Yeah.
But no, Mickey's lost, but Luke's still going.
Yeah.
But well done, very well done to the British women. That's very well done indeed. Good games all round, and fingers crossed we're not jinxing it, but fingers crossed that we get that last half point that we need from the last two games. And e6 is strong still. Oh dear me. So
yeah. Well, you know, we have finished the stream before, and then the results all turned around to our advantage.
Exactly.
So who knows? We'll sign off so we don't jinx anybody. Exactly. So thanks all very much for watching today. I'm back tomorrow with Peter Wells, and so hopefully at 3 o'clock again. So hopefully see you all then. And thanks everyone very much for watching.
Thanks for watching.